What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to SpawnCast episode 61. I actually asked Evan before we went live, just so I didn't look like I don't know what episode we're on. But we actually we have a lot of stuff to go over today because a lot of stuff happened in the gaming world this past week, like an immense amount of stuff. So we're gonna get through all of that as quick as we can, because otherwise we might end up running up against the 2-hour mark. But first, we're gonna go around here, and of course, we're gonna introduce everyone. We have Max, who's actually off-site right now, but he is still joining us. Max, how's it going? Dreamcastguy.
Good, man. When we talk about games we've played this week, I played a game that's about to come to Switch that I think everybody is going to want to play. It is incredible. So I'll talk about that later. But man, it's been a good week for news. It's been a good week for games.
Okay. You actually played Detroit as well, right?
Yes, I beat Detroit. I beat Dark Souls, and now I'm playing a game just for fun called Moonlighter, which is like blowing my mind.
Cool. Okay, we could talk about all of that. Of course, we have Evan. Evan, how's it going? You got off work about an hour ago, so
yep, my whole 9-hour day just finished up.
Made it back just in time. What's up? What's up, BG? How's it going? And yeah, I guess we'll go over to BG Broken Games or Brooklyn Skill Tree, actually, even on your individual YouTube channel. How's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Very good. And then we'll jump over to OJ, PlayerEssence. How's it going?
What's up? Good to be here again.
Cool. And then, of course, we have Sean, RGT85.
Yo.
As usual here. He looked at the topic list and saw the Atari on there and, didn't do so well with that one. So
no, I didn't.
We'll touch and go around that topic with him so he doesn't have like a hernia or something on camera. But let's get around here. Yeah, what's everyone been playing this week? Anything good? What have you been playing?
Tons of stuff. I want to talk about Moonlighter real quick because I feel like everybody's got to try this. It almost feels like
I have to look this up.
It's almost like, so full disclosure, I'm friends with one of the people who worked on it, so I feel like I just want to get that out of the way so no one's like, "Oh, you're being biased."
You're being
But
biased.
it's super good.
Piece of shit.
They sent me a copy, and I just kind of installed it because it seemed good. But it takes place sort of in a Legend of Zelda style world where basically a bunch of dungeons just popped up, and strong adventurers start trying to go down into them, and they keep dying. And you basically play as a shop owner who dreams of being an adventurer. So by day, you set up a shop and actually run it and make money and upgrade it. And then each night, you fulfill your obsession of basically trying to be Link. And you go into these different dungeons that each night rebuild themselves. And you try and get a little bit deeper. And as you kill monsters and stuff, you take their power cores and sell them in your shop. And it's several things at once. And it's so good. It really kind of like, it's almost a meta commentary on Zelda. It's blowing my mind.
It says here on the site, it's an action RPG with roguelite elements. Does that sound right?
Yeah, because of the randomized dungeons. So sometimes dungeons are all like 5 layers deep, and sometimes you get lucky and all 5 layers, like you just door, and you're on the last boss. And sometimes you go in there and it's like 15 incredibly difficult rooms just to get to the second floor. So you can teleport out at any time you want. So if you get super deep and you're super weak, you can just teleport out and try again the next day. And so basically there's a time system.
What are you playing it on right now?
I'm playing it on PS4 right now. They sent me a code on PS4 and Steam, and they told me it's coming any day now to Switch.
Yeah, I think there's a terminals. It's on terminals or Keymailer. I remember seeing it. Yeah.
I put in for Vampire, and they I don't think they're passing those out until Monday because they're worried people will leak it.
Same thing with me. They said they were gonna pass them out like at least the PC ones last week, and I was like, okay, I guess I didn't get one. And then they said they're coming out Monday. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get the Xbox One X one, and I'm like, I'll try it on there. But yeah, they sent everybody an email, and they were like, yeah, we can't send those out because they're afraid that people will like leak secrets and spoil it.
Or it could be something else.
Yeah. Maybe it's just that good of a game.
Yeah,
it's too good. Yeah, I hope that game actually looked interesting. I hope it's good. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, Agony looked interesting too. I don't know.
Oh man, apparently people are ragging on that game pretty hard right now.
Agony is bad. I saw the deleted scenes. They're so awful. Like, man, that game is bad.
Were they trying to just be like Shock? like horror? Is that the idea with it? Because some of those deleted scenes sound really bad.
It seems like they thought it was a genius idea. It definitely seems like somebody on the development team was like, this will be so great, and it just is not.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the same idea with active shooter. I guess they wanted to get on everyone's radar before they, I guess, got everything ripped down. So
It was clear they were going to take that down before it was even released.
Yeah. But now everybody knows about that company that no one really cared about beforehand.
Well, and now they're kicked off Steam, so it doesn't matter if anybody knows them; they're gone.
Yeah, that's true. But if you watch like Sid Alpha or Jim Sterling, they seem to just show up with other people's names and other people's like made up companies, so they can probably get back on there later anyway. But yeah, they just wanted to make a splash, I guess, and that's how they decided to do it. BG, what have you been playing, man?
Just beat Dark Souls 2 over again. I'm still trying to beat the last, the Queen Valkyrie on God of War. And I was thinking about going, like, there's not a lot I want to play right now. It's a little bit of a dry season for me. So I don't do this a lot. And I always say I don't play older games, but I'm thinking about going back to Dead Space 2 because that's like one of my favorite games.
That's good. That's what right before the series like went off a cliff with Dead Space 3.
Yeah, before EA made Visceral do a whole bunch of stuff they didn't want to in 3.
Yep.
Yeah, and XCOM is going to be on PlayStation Plus for this June. I've already beat it on PC, but I like XCOM 2 a lot, so I'll probably beat that again on PS4.
Did you play did you get into the XCOM series when it like showed up on consoles and everything, when it had like its big resurgence, or did you play that even way back in the day when it was like on PC and like really old back then?
Oh no, my first XCOM was like XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Yeah, so, that's the one that's the one everyone played. I actually don't even remember it on PC back in the day, but one of my friends actually saw it was coming back and he hates how they are now, but he loves the old one. It's really weird.
I don't know why. Them and haven't played. I got because they released them very limited. They're some of the rarest PlayStation games. I own the big box. It's called, the first one was called XCOM UFO Defense, and it's awful.
I did see Brain. Glick. I did see the $5 in the super chat. What I'm going to do just to keep the show moving along, because it's going to be, like I said, a pretty rapid fire show here with all the stuff we have. We'll answer any of the super chats or questions around 10:40 or so. Okay. So any super chats or stuff, we'll do a quick thank you, and then we'll come back and do another shout out with your question and everything or comment that you have. But I did see you, Brain. Got you there. What about Sean? Sean, what are you playing, man?
Street Fighter 30th. I've been playing that a good bit still because I love playing with. I've actually been playing for some reason original Street Fighter 2 on there a lot. I don't know. It just looks really good for some reason to my eyes. I love the character sprites on them. Been playing more Ease 8, of course, which I can't talk about, but
yeah, they sent that out like way early.
That's awesome. That's what they should do with RPGs and games of that size. Like, I'm sure most people, I would say a lot of people who get these RPGs like a week before they come out, like it's got to be damn near impossible to beat the whole damn game and see what you got to see. So at least when you have more time with it, you can experience it. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. What else? I got bored last night and played Disneyland Adventures on Game Pass, and I got real pissed off because like all I was doing was getting like autographs and stuff, and like I wanted to go on the rides, and like they were just like, you got to go get Goofy's autograph, and now you got to go take a picture with Goofy.
That must have been a dark time last night, man.
And I was talking to a girl on the phone, and like I hate talking to people on the phone, so I just needed something. You
got to get off that Tinder app, man.
I just needed something to do. And I was like, I'm gonna download this. I've been playing more State of Decay 2. I'm still enjoying it.
I'm already off that game, man.
Are you?
Yeah. One of my main characters died after he fell through the floor, and I was like, done.
Yep.
Just like that.
Were you online or in single player?
Single player.
No shit. Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, I was like, done.
That game is grand open and grand close. Someone told me the most dangerous thing in State of Decay 2 is the rocks, because you get stuck on them and die. It's a wrap.
I saw that happen, actually. Yes, I saw that on YouTube. Like, I saw a review. I was like, let me look at a review of this game before I play it. And I looked at Max's, and Max just yelled about it for like about 8 minutes.
The rocks are more dangerous than the zombies, I heard. Which is...
In my video, I showed a zombie fell under the ground, and one of my teammates was like, I'll get it. And he froze for a second, and then he fell through a rock and died. And it's like, what?
To be fair, that's not my game anyway. Like, I don't really like the Sims type games or like city builder games or anything like that.
Yeah, that's like my whole village, like everyone that lives at my house is miserable. One guy is dying of the blood plague and shit. So like I feel like the end is near, and when I get to that point, I'm just gonna kill everyone in the village and then just like run out into some zombies and kill myself and then be done with the game.
Probably fall through the floor before you even get there.
I know, it's so disappointing. But yeah, I'm gonna do like a dramatic exit for the game and then free up some space.
You can't kill people in the village. I tried, so you don't even get that satisfaction.
Well, if they get the blood plague, you can.
I thought you just meant. I tried to shoot one in the back of the head when I was angry one day and it didn't work.
No, I'll get everyone infected. I mean, that doesn't bother me.
Is that, you just mentioned you downloaded a game you'd probably never have played if it wasn't for Game Pass.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting? Like you talked about, what was it? Disneyland
Adventure.
Yeah. It's like, man, that's the one good thing about Game Pass, but there is obviously a bad side to it that
Game Pass is just like movie. I don't know if any of you had tried Movie Pass.
They should have been out of business a long time ago.
Yeah. I that's why I'm taking advantage of it now. I'm like, I see the just the model of Movie Pass. I'm like, there's no way this company is lasting past this year. So me and my girlfriend take advantage of it now. And that's how like Movie Pass is. It's you see a whole bunch of movies that you would never see otherwise, right? You would never pay to see this movie, but Movie Pass, you can see, depending on the plan you have, you can see, as many movies as you want once a day. So that's how I feel like Game Pass is. I wouldn't usually play this, but I got it. So.
Oh yeah, and they just added. They actually added 4 Star Wars games today.
Yeah, they added some of the original Xbox.
They added Knights of the Old Republic, and then they added both Star Wars Force Unleashed games from the 360, and then they added Lego Star Wars Complete Edition, I think. So actually a lot of stuff they just added for Star Wars today. Knights of the Old Republic is awesome. If you're like a little younger and you missed out on that, it actually runs really well on the Xbox One S and X, and I actually think that's a game that's worth going back to, because that's when I think BioWare was like top of their game going into the 360. So that's a good one to pick out there. What about OJ? What you been playing, man? Anything good?
I've been getting my tennis racket broken constantly.
We'll talk a bit about Mario tennis. Yeah,
I'm getting my tennis racket broken. So I played that really. Played with the community. Played some like Pokken, getting beat up by Mewtwo. Played Mario Kart. I played this mobile game too, but it's on Switch. It's called Mecha Assault or Mecha Storm, something. It's Mecha Storm, and it was a mobile game. And I just got a code for it. I played it, so that was kind of interesting. Kind of reminded me of like Custom Robo, so that was kind of cool. Okay. So I played that.
I played that a little bit too. Actually, I had a code for that as well. Just because that's what's interesting about that game is it actually came to Switch before it went to mobile. It's still not out on mobile.
Oh, it's not out on mobile?
No, what they decided to do was delay the mobile version of it to put it out on Switch first.
Oh, I didn't know. Very interesting. I saw some gameplay of it like before I decided that if I even wanted to play it. Like I was like, let me look up some gameplay.
I looked up on the Android. I was like, do I really want to like do anything about this thing? And I looked it up, and it was like it's coming to the Switch first. And I was like, that's weird. Okay,
interesting. It was cool. I thought it was a cool little game. It's kind of like repetitive and like the same kind of areas and locations, but there's some type of like cool like aspect to it because it's just like you just get like new parts. Like I said, it just reminded me of like Custom Robo a little bit. So I was like, oh, this is fun. So I play it every now and then when I'm in the living room, just chilling, watching.
Okay.
Solve mysteries.
Okay.
I didn't want to say what I was watching, but I was like, it's coming out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. So yeah. I've been playing that, and getting my tennis racket broken, pretty much.
Sure. Yeah, we'll talk a bit about Mario Tennis as well, because it's fun, but the lag is not good in that game.
You can see the person's connection, which I like.
Yeah, that's true. You can kind of run away before you play.
Yeah, I bounce. But if you're like in the second or third round, it's like, okay, well, you're kind of screwed, because like you're already in the tournament. So, but I mean, that gives me hope for like when you play like normal ranked competitive matches, like 1-on-1, I can just bounce, So that's good.
Let me check in with Evan here. What were you playing this past week, Evan?
Been tinkering around in a bunch of different fighting games. We got 30th, of course.
Street Fighter, yeah.
30th. We got Dragon Ball Fighters. They just dropped the 2 new DLC characters.
Who was that? Was that Vegito Blue and
Vegito Blue and Zamasu, Fused Zamasu. So
Oh, okay. Okay, that's not bad, I guess. How do they play? Okay.
They play really well. They have a bunch of different aspects to them. Specifically, Fuse Zamasu has a bit of flight added to him, so it changes the meta a little bit. What else? I noticed that the Space Hulk game on PC actually dropped a definitive edition finally after years of saying they were going to do it. Wanted to test that out. It's actually really good. And then I played a bit of Mario as well. Just a little.
Oh yeah, you played some tennis as well. Yeah, I played some. I think I've unlocked almost all the characters. All right, yeah. Let's jump into Mario Tennis real quick before we move on here. What's everyone thinking about the game so far? I actually like the game. Oh, also I was playing a bunch of stuff. You guys actually named a lot of stuff I was playing, but I also played Zone of the Enders Second Runner, the demo for VR. I did play that, and that's I guess the one different thing that no one else named. And it was interesting, but there's no need to play it in VR. I'm just gonna tell you that now. the experience is weird. Like if you've ever played Zone of the Enders on even on the PS3 or the 360 when they redid it, Evan, you know all about this game, obviously. But everyone else played it. It's a lot of, you get to a point where you're almost teleporting around because you're moving so fast. So picture that,
Euro shift,
but it's in VR. And you just blink and you're all over the place.
The thing is, you say picture that, but that was a tool used in the Doom VR game. Like that's how you got around in Doom VR. So it's a bit faster, yeah.
It's very fast. It's extremely fast. Like it's disorienting.
I can see that. It's because it's funny to think, well, when you teleport, does it stay locked on like it does in the game?
No, because you look around. You like when you're moving your head around, it's all free. Like it's all free looking.
Well, I know, but
around your cockpit and everything.
The way it worked in the game originally was if you locked onto a character and used it, you would appear either behind them or next to them or something, aiming at them, and then you would attack. So that doesn't happen when you're using it. You just kind of like appear, and then you have to readjust.
Yeah, I had to readjust several times for that. You could lock on, but even then, you're never ever like looking directly at it right away. So there's a lot of looking around like right away. But it's cool to like using the places if you are to kind of look around. Like that's like such a different look for that game. But that's a third person game. I'm going to tell you that now. It is not a first person. I think it's one of those things where you're going to maybe play it and be like, oh, this is cool. But then you're going to probably take the headset off, hook it up to your 4K TV, and be like, okay, this is much better to do it this way. But that's that. Then pretty much everything else, including Mario Tennis. We're gonna talk about Mario Tennis very quickly because right now it's mostly just a demo that they're just stressing the online service. It seems like, and honestly, it's fairly laggy. And what was weird was when I did get into any of the laggy matches when it wasn't, and it was all blue bars, it was fine. I was like, all right, this is cool, this is great. But when it would lag, I noticed that the inputs were delayed.
Yeah, badly.
Like badly. I was like, wow. Like you'll hit to like, swing the racket, and then it's seriously like a full 1-2 seconds of nothing happening.
In my video, I said in order to beat somebody with that lag, I felt like I had to tell the future because I had to predict what they were about to do and start swinging my racket for it. It was so frustrating.
Yeah. Let me go down here real quick. You got 1,200 you guys here. Our two guests, we have, of course, OJ, PlayerEssence, and then we have Brooklyn Skill Tree. But BG, you also have a podcast you guys run Sunday night as well, right?
Yeah, Weapon Wheel podcast, Sundays at 6 p.m. Most people know me as BG, Broken Games HD.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've been like for 10 years now. So yeah, Weapon Wheel podcast on Sundays. Yes,
yeah. So make sure you guys check that out. That's 6 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be on tomorrow night. So make sure you guys check that out as well. But so Mario Tennis, I know a lot of people played it. Did you get a chance to check it out at all, BG? I don't know if you play a lot of the Mario Tennis stuff, right?
I sold my Switch again.
Yeah. You're getting it for Project Octopath, is what I understand.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it back in July for Octopath. I don't know, like it just bothers me sometimes when I look at it because it's good for those games that come out, but it's huge gaps till those games come out. So I know it doesn't really make any sense for me to sell it, to buy it back. But sometimes it just bothers me when I look at it, and it's been sitting there just doing nothing for such a long time. So
that's why mine's kind of behind my computer monitor. I don't see it all the time. It's just there.
I do suggest seriously get Splatoon 2. I feel like that's probably the best bang for your buck of any Switch game because they roll out tons of free content. Like literally, they put out a new map basically every 2 weeks and new weapons, and it just changes up so much. I've put 85 hours into it now.
I actually like Splatoon 2. Somebody gifted that to me, and I was like, I didn't play the first one. I was like, this is a really good game. So Splatoon 2, I actually did like.
Okay. Yeah, I play Splatoon 2 now and then, but I'm mostly into Halo. Like, I'm not as big of a Splatoon person. I'll usually just play Halo 5. Even though I don't like that as much, I'd rather play Halo 3, but the Master Chief Collection still cannot seem to work correctly. So whenever they fix that, I'll do that. But so Octopath is the next I guess Switch game you're looking forward to down the road, and that's what you'll be buying it again for.
Yeah, Nintendo is actually. I'm actually helping the Switch sales. Like,
I noticed this.
I'm helping the Switch sales with the amount of like Switches I've bought. Like, I'm at least probably third of Nintendo's revenue, probably.
Okay, so yeah, Octopath is going to be pretty cool when that drops, and I think they'll probably fill up some of the back half of the year. I get Fire Emblem will probably be interesting, and Smash. I think everybody's going to get Smash, but we do need to talk about Pokemon because BGU were interested in Pokemon. So I'm going to be curious your take on the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee stuff, because it's kind of what we like, the older people like us wanted, like people who aren't, who remember Red and Blue and stuff. Remember a link cable, we'll say that.
Right. Yeah.
Remember a link cable. Then So I'm going to be curious to see what your thoughts are on it as well here. But real quick, Mario Tennis. What have you guys thought about it so far? So far, I think it's kind of like it reminds me of the GameCube version, and that's the one that I really liked. I did not like the Wii U version at all because there was like nothing there. But this reminds me more so of the GameCube version, and I like that. But Max, you didn't like it as much.
I didn't. It's one of those weird times where I can tell that I'm the problem, where I can see that it does have all this depth. I think the new Charge Smash, the energy system, having to worry about like your racket health, I think all those mechanics are great, but for some reason it is just not fun to me. It's definitely just not my cup of tea. Of something about it just feels too small. It's probably the same problem I had with ARMS, where ARMS is a well-designed game with a lot of deep mechanics if you care, but I just can't seem to make myself care. That may change when we see the full game, though, because from what I've seen, the screenshots of adventure mode actually look pretty good. So I might just buy it and not review it, just to play it myself.
I mean, you kind of said that it wasn't really like the tennis type games like that wasn't really something you're interested in before you even tried it. You were saying that?
Yeah, well, it's that I like tennis games sometimes, and I like Mario games, but something about Mario Tennis. It's the same like the Mario Strikers series. Like Mario Soccer isn't really my cup of tea.
You don't like Mario Strikers?
No, I own them, and they're cool. I get them, but they're the type of things I cannot play them longer than like 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes in it, I'm like, okay, I get it. Mario kicks the ball. Peace.
Oh, dude, we had so much fun with Mario Strikers way back in the day. Not the Wii version. You could throw that out in the yard, but the GameCube one was awesome. Wow. Okay, so you don't really like any of the Mario. Do you like any of the Mario sports games? I really only like the Strikers and the tennis. I don't really like baseball as much. Really.
I like Mario Golf.
I forgot about Mario Golf. Yeah, I play Mario Golf.
I think it's because the physics of Mario Golf is cartoonish, whereas I feel like the other games are trying to have a semblance. Like a mirror of realism, whereas, like, of course they have super shots and stuff, but I like that Mario Tennis or Mario Golf just feels insane, and I love that.
Anyone else thoughts on Mario Tennis at all?
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought the controls were real. Like, of course, like when the online is working, but just like offline, the controls are so precise. They're really good. Like, it really feels like when you do like your drop shots, like your lobs, the charge, everything feels good to pull off. So that's what I like the most about it is the controls. I think the controls are spot on. Everything runs really smooth and fast. It looks great. So I'm looking forward to the adventure mode.
Yeah, the performance is good. That's something I was concerned about, because like a game like that, you do need a solid 60, and it seems to run fine, solid 60 and everything. So I was okay with that. I don't like the racket breaking mechanic, though. I really don't like that.
I just wish there was a little bit more. Like maybe get like 3 instead of just 2.
They give you 2 in multiplayer. I think they only give you 1 offline or something like that.
But I mean, I guess we gotta learn how to block better. I guess that's the biggest thing. Is like just learning how to block better.
I tried to block online. It broke my first racket. Every other time they did a super shot, I just ran directly off the court. I just ran. I'm like, because if they break your racket, you don't have any left. You just lose. You could be winning, which I was at the time. So if they break that racket, I just lose. I'm like, well, why do I even try to block it then? I'll just run off the court and live.
That's why I was smashing it at them. I was trying to knock their health bar out. I would literally smash it at them, like block it.
Yeah, like
That's why I want to try the mode where it's like it's still the same gameplay, but it's got all the stuff removed.
yeah, that's locked right now. You can't do it. That's
like
how
that
we would always
pissed me
play
off.
back in the day.
That's what I wanted to do. I was like, I mean, I could see like to me, it's like, okay, you know, the trick shots, the racket breaking, all that shit's cool. You know, if you're playing with your friends or something and you want to dick around online, you know, that's fun. But as far as like a competitive aspect goes, I want that, you know, based on, you know, actual skill. So that's the mode I'm looking forward to playing. But yeah, I thought it was better. It was better than I thought it would be. I think because I don't know. I liked how it felt. It's funny that you mentioned the lag though, because I actually didn't play the American launch. I played the England launch, and like most of my matches were okay, but I had a couple laggy ones, and I was just like, oh, it must just be because I'm playing some people across the pond. But yeah, people need to get better internet. Like it's 2018. Like what are you doing?
I get, like, dude. I bet you some people probably playing on hotspots and stuff, man.
Yeah.
You
Get
know,
that shit
that's
out of
going.
here.
Probably playing on Wi-Fi, so you're gonna get bad. Like whenever I saw a bad connection, I'd just leave. I had a few bad connection games, and I was like, I'm dipping. Like,
There were a couple times where it looked good, and then you go in, and then it drops like 4 bars, and all of a sudden it's like a slideshow. You know, it's like, oh man. Avedon actually dropping 5 in the super chat. You make sure you guys check out Avedon Smith's channel. Does some good stuff over there. Good live streams and everything too. Saying racket breaking in Mario Tennis equals tripping in Smash Bros. Brawl in terms of annoyance.
Not nowhere near that bad.
Yeah, because the racket breaking just costs you the game. Like it's over.
Yeah.
The Smash it like you trip so much. Okay, I'm a competitive Smash player, so I guess I'll just stop here. I played Brawl competitive. I played all those. I mean, I guess it can be as bad, but like Brawl tripping is really horrible. Like it's really, really bad. I mean, it's not. All the professional players will tell you like, oh, it's not as bad as people say it is. But for me, like I've literally lost. Like I lost locals because of tripping. You know, because I literally tripped and then I got like forward smash or something happened to me. So yeah.
NX Revolution says, what's better internet? Internet that actually has to be run to a modem that then runs out like through a wire. Nothing like super wireless like through T-Mobile or something.
And you don't share that wire with everybody else in your neighborhood.
Yeah. Have a password on that shit. You know, don't have no open connections, nothing.
Sean giving out like internet tips.
Did NX say something about internet connection?
Why is NX's connection not good?
This man says smoke signals. That's how he gets his internet connection.
Oh man,
his internet connection is hot trash.
Thanks. I've been had skills. We'll answer the question when we get towards the end there. Thank you though.
NX was on playing with them. NX, I know. You know, I'm just joking.
Oh man. All right, cool. So let's move into some of the topics here before we get a little too off here with some of the other stuff. Let's just talk about Pokemon. Let's get into Pokemon here. We had the previous it wasn't even a live stream, it was like an event. You had to follow them on Twitter and like look at their tweets. And that was one of the lamest things I thought they could have done. They should have just like live streamed it because it would have been so much easier because there was so much confusion out of this thing. Two versions are coming this year. We already had one game released in Pokemon Quest that's essentially a mobile game that they decided to also put on the Switch. And then 2 more games are coming next year that are the core games. The only thing is the fan base is kind of split on this. One, it's all Kanto with some Alolan forms from the newer one, I guess. And 2, it's going to have integration with Pokemon Go, where you capture them that way, that wild Pokemon. There's no wild Pokemon battles in terms of you weakening them. You just seem to capture them. So what is everyone's, I guess, initial thoughts here? There's also online. There is online battles, online trading. Famitsu actually confirmed last night I saw this, where it will use the paid online service, like straight across the board, which I think it would be weird if they didn't, because then it's just confusing. But what's everyone's initial thought on what we've seen? Because we haven't seen full gameplay or deep dives or anything, which I assume is to be at E3. But what's everyone think so far based on the trailer and the info coming out right now?
I mean, really, the main, like, the Go integration is there. I understand why it's there. They're obviously trying to get people who played Go to check this game out. I could give a shit about it. I'm not going to be playing with my phone and doing stuff like that. I'm actually interested in the game. Like, yes, it's very strange how you capture Pokemon. I think the main thing is, though, the main thing is that they need to do is if you're only going to have trainer battles, there better be a lot of damn trainers in this game.
Yeah, how do you grind out your Pokemon?
Yeah, like
or even procedural trainer battles that you could just keep going back to and changing it up. Like,
yeah,
interesting.
There has to be something. There has to be something because otherwise, like, you wouldn't be able to essentially level them up. Like, there would just be baseline, and then you'd get into a trainer battle, and then it's like, where's the skill? I think it's obviously going to be a sort of not as hardcore as the newer Pokemon games, but for me that's okay because I haven't played one since Black. As far as like getting really into it, like I've dabbled in them, but as far as like sitting down and actually playing them, I haven't played one since Black. So
I'm the original DS. When was that? It was like 2005.
Yeah,
Pokemon Black and White. That was after Diamond and Pearl, right? So yeah, we're talking 2008, 2009.
Sorry, 2009. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like
sorry, 2010. My bad. 2010.
I see Kentucky Cruise. I see you there. Thank you. And then Nicholas, we'll answer those like I said later on. Go on, Sean.
I just want to see more. I want to learn more about it. But I mean, I don't think it's like the end of the world. I mean, because a lot of people seem to be like, oh, this shit sucks, and it's like, okay, like it looks pretty decent. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm excited for it, man, and I feel weird seeing that because it is so different. But I'm genuinely like way more excited about this than I've been about a Pokemon game in a long time, and I think it is just because it is so freaking different. The idea of remember in Silver and Gold how you'd actually get a trainer's phone number when you beat them, and you could come back and challenge them again later, and they'd be stronger. I mean, what if it has a system like that where you just grind against trainers who get stronger with you, and the fact that we're just going to be capturing Pokemon, I don't know. It's so different. It sort of reminds me in a way of that old Steve Jobs quote where he says, I never asked anybody how to design the iPhone because then they'd give me bad answers. I just gave them something and said, hey, this is the iPhone. And it feels like that. Like they didn't ask what Pokemon fans wanted. They just made something to see if anybody would try it. And I really want to try it.
Okay. What do you think over there, BG?
I mean, this one that has this Pokemon Go integration in it, I'm not interested in that one. But the core Pokemon game, which is coming out next year, I'm definitely excited to get back into Pokemon with that one.
What was the last one you played? You remember?
The last one I played, man, like the last one I played was on I played it on PC. Y'all know what I did.
I mean,
which one was it?
Yeah,
Just tell us which one it was.
Oh, man, it might have been black and white, or it might have been black and white.
To be fair, I did play Gold before it came out in the States with like half a translation from Japanese on my computer way back in the day because we got it like a year afterwards. So I was there too.
Yeah, I just played it on PC. I would actually buy this next one that's coming out. It's because it's going back to the Kanto region, I guess, which is rumored, because the recent Pokemon generations have had me like just shaking my head because I think the design of recent Pokemon have been atrocious. I think they're running out of ideas. Like when I saw that they got Pokemon that have been inspired by like garbage bags and chandeliers and ice cream cones and keychains, and I see some of these Pokemon and I think somebody's like photoshopping them, and people are telling me, no, these are real Pokemon. I'm like, man, just bring me back to the first gen of Pokemon, which was the best, which they actually, looked practical, which I'm, familiar with, and I'll be excited for that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if the next generation, because they said they're gonna make like all new Pokemon for the next one, like next year, but I assume it's gonna have. I mean, how many Pokemon are there now? Like 700 something,
700, almost 800.
Yeah, 764 or something. Yeah.
So we assume that one's gonna have like all the Pokemon in it, right? So I guess
eventually.
Yeah, eventually. See, that's my problem. The reason I like the ones that are showing up right now, is because I should know most of the Pokemon in there. Because once it gets past Gold and Silver, I'm lost. Like I'm done. I didn't even really get into Ruby or Sapphire. Which was the first ones in the Game Boy Advance. I think I bought Fire Red and Leaf Green, and that had some of those Pokemon in it.
It does.
But-
After you beat it, it'll unlock Gen 3.
Dude, it was over after 250. The first 250, it was over. I was in trouble. So
Can I just say that people always start a fight with me about this? Squirtle is the best starter Pokemon. I just want to put that out there. Charmander's overrated. I just want to. That's all.
Hating on Charmander though.
Kick him off. Kick him off the podcast.
Carry on.
My brother loved Squirtle, and I would always pick Charmander.
And your brother's a huge troll. So.
Not that one. The other one. The other one.
Okay.
The problem with Squirtle is just the base speed. That's his only issue is his base speed. If Blastoise was faster, I'd be completely down with Blastoise because he's actually really good. But just the base speed's the problem that I have with Blastoise.
I mean, Blastoise. Well, I mean, he was good, obviously, because he would take down Charizard and everything. And Venusaur just looked slow all the time.
Venusaur's also slow. Yeah,
Venusaur always looked bored, so I never wanted to play as him or use him. But yeah, we would usually pick Squirtle. But whenever I really wanted to get like a Charizard, so I start with Charmander and play through. But yeah, Squirtle was the one I think everybody around me would pick too, because back then, see, people now don't realize this. Back in like 1998, 99, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing someone with a brick Game Boy or a Game Boy Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It is impossible. It is impossible. You go to like a McDonald's, like all the tables were full of people playing Pokemon back then.
Well, because I went to 10 different schools growing up, and I went to 4 different middle schools, and it was during that time. And every single time I moved to a new place, I'd literally just wait till recess, find where kids were playing Game Boy, and walk over with mine, and immediately have friends everywhere I moved. It was just that ubiquitous.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also gonna be curious to see how these sell, because usually,
Like crack.
the crowd online will say they're not gonna buy it.
It's
And then
like
they're gonna
Call
buy
of Duty.
4 of them.
It's like Call of Duty.
It's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty's not going to sell this year.
Yeah.
Bullshit. It always sells.
It's Call of Duty. It's Madden. It's FIFA.
Madden,
It's all of
Wasn't
these games.
Infinite
that
Warfare like one of the most downvoted videos on YouTube, and then everyone bought it anyway, and it was the best-selling game of that year, like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, people are gonna like we're already getting numbers like in terms of like France and like the shipping and stuff. That's like the most shipped. They're gonna have the biggest stock of any like Switch game to date. So
What do you think about that accessory, the Pokeball thing?
I'm getting it because
Are you?
I'm getting
Make
it.
sure to get it early because scalpers, man.
Yeah, I have to have it because it's just there's a Pokemon in there, man. When you go, there's a Pokemon in there.
I'm gonna be curious to see how much money people are gonna make off those things.
So you actually have to throw this thing? Is that how this is
No.
going?
Just throwing it right at your screen, dude.
It's like
Just
You have to hard throw it.
it's like a motion control.
Yeah, it's a
Pokeball
motion
thing.
control function. It's basically it acts like a regular Joy-Con.
You simulate tossing it, but it's like acts like a regular Joy-Con. It lights up. It has HD rumble built into it. It
It has sound
vibrates.
as well and stuff.
Yeah, sound. And there's going to be rewards. Like let's say you put your Pokemon in there. You can put any Pokemon you want. You take it away. You bring it back. It's going to bring back some type of rewards. Although they haven't stated what you will get. But
It's like that Pokewalker that they put with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's like a Pokewalker. But
Those
a
are
little more
expensive to
advanced.
find now too.
Fuck yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're really expensive. Alton, thank you. I see you there. Oh yeah, there you go. Squirtle squad all the way. I think Squirtle had some serious like
Squirtle boys.
he had some backing in the cartoon I remember when that aired back then. That cartoon had like massive ratings, and Squirtle was definitely the best of the first 3 in that
Absolutely.
cartoon.
Absolutely.
He was like a gangster basically.
yeah, he took out the shades.
He like
and be
took over the town.
Yeah, Squirtle was hype. I use Squirtle a lot. I actually do really like Squirtle. I like Squirtle. I like Blastoise.
I mean, I usually start with the fire Pokemon now, but I get it.
The fire Pokemon was actually the hardest. Like when you pick Charmander,
They're glass cannons. Yeah. That's all they are. Yeah.
it made it the hardest because like the trainers like Brock, that's rock, so obviously you're not gonna be effective there. So it was harder than Misty, water. So you really had to be on your game, and catch other ones and make sure.
Bulbasaur made it easy. Bulbasaur made like the first couple gyms like a breeze. You rolled right through that. But in Fire Red, I remember this. In Fire Red, I picked Charmander, and they actually gave him a move like Steel Claw or something to help with the first gym, which was good because it was so difficult. I remember one of my friends was stuck in the Viridian Forest. He couldn't find his way out. He left with like a level 32 Pidgeotto or Pidgeot or something. I was like, what in the fuck? So he's like rolling in to like all these like gyms with ridiculously powerful Pokemon.
I think it evolves to Pidgeot at like 36. I can't believe I still know this shit. Like, that's crazy.
It's insane, like how ingrained that is into our brains. everything about that. Like we probably remember most of the badges, what they would look like if they showed it to us, be like, what badge is this? Probably remember it. Everything. I remember going to like fight Giovanni and everything.
I remember where all the hidden items are. Like I remember literally going in Mr. Surge's Mr. Surge's puzzle room. Like it's funny, we went through it so many times.
Go ahead, BG.
What was that? I think it was Sabrina, where it used the psychic Pokemon. I remember you had to go through all her portals, and that shit was. I had no idea what I was. There was no like strategy to me getting to her. I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna keep going through every single.
I did the same thing.
Well, somebody told me I learned on the playground. The kid said just always go straight up or straight down, and you'll make it there in 9 moves no matter what. So it looks weird, and a couple times you'll even go back 1 room, but you'll end up at her fast.
I just ran in randomly.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there eventually. I'm gonna just keep doing this.
How cool were psychic Pokemon back in the day, though, man?
They cheated, man. They were so powerful. They would like ruin, and you had to trade. I remember this. You had to trade Kadabra to get an Alakazam.
Yeah.
And I hated that, man, because the people around me were jerks. They would be like, here, trade me it and I'll trade it back to you. Okay. And then they were gone. They got on their bike and took off.
Oh, right. You got jacked.
Yeah, dude.
Down and beat that ass.
I know that's called a chase down for me.
Well, no, dude, because back then I'm in like 3rd or 4th grade, and it was the 5th and 6th graders who had the link cables because they were the ones who just had them, and it was like, all right, that's it.
I'm never been one to back down to a 5th or 6th grader.
That's the end of that, I guess.
I remember I wanted a Gyarados so bad that what you had to do to get if you didn't use rare candy, you had to throw Magikarp out there in the battle, then call him back, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then finish the battle with another Pokemon so he would get half the credit. I actually grinded that. You know how long that took with half credit? Man, half experience.
Share. You could have used experience share. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, EXP share, but that was also such a weird cut, and it gave it to everybody in the party unless it was just you and one other person in the party.
That's right. Yeah.
Not back in the day, though. I thought back in the day you put it on one Pokemon.
No, that's the second one. The original one, it was just an item you had in your inventory, and as long as you had it in your inventory, it would do 40% to the main person and then 10% to all the other people.
I remember that. Yeah. Oh man, that was the worst.
Yeah, and every time you beat everybody, it said like it took up your whole chat for 15 seconds.
But dude, when that Magikarp evolved, it was over.
Yeah,
that was it.
The red Gyarados you got in gold was such a huge deal. Like this is a godly Gyarados.
The hype, dude. The hype building up to gold and silver coming out was obscene. Oh man, it was crazy back then. See, people think Pokemon was popular now. It was something else back then. Man, it was crazy. All right, so we talked about Pokemon. I'm gonna get it. I don't think I'll buy both of them, but I'll get one of them. Honestly, Nintendo will probably send it out anyway, but we'll see. Apparently, they were fighting all kinds of stuff with Pokemon leaks back then, so the most recent one. But I think it's gonna sell well. I do. It's the first console version of the game, even though it's not, I guess, the mainline RPG game that's coming out next year. Any guesses? Is that gonna be? You guys think that'll be named after a color or I don't know, an item or something like Sun and Moon we just had, but before then we were getting what, like Ruby, Sapphire, Pearl, Diamond. What do you guys think it's getting named after? An element or a color? Or
it's going to be 8, which is the number 8, and the other one's going to be ATE. So you're going to get Gen 8 or Gen 8.
All right.
That joke was so bad. People are like, we're not replying to that.
I don't know. I don't really know what they name them. That's the problem. I wouldn't have been able to guess Sun and Moon, so I don't know. I guess Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. That's not very original. So do we want to talk about these E3 rumors and leaks?
No.
people are trying to avoid these things. It's not like we're not like spoiling a movie or anything.
I've talked about it like a million times already this week.
I know. They're everywhere, man.
I talked about it once in the last 2 months. I'm happy. That's minimal for me.
So we got to talk about Microsoft because
that shit is crazy.
This is honestly one of the most concerned I've ever been for any one game company, and that's saying something with Nintendo and the Wii U. Yeah, I'm concerned about Microsoft right now, and some of the stuff that's coming out, which Max is going to catch us up on here, is okay, Max, go ahead.
Okay, so there was a big scoop that came out that they're going to be coming out with. They're going to be showing a Halo 6 and a Forza Horizon 4. Both of those straightforward, good, obvious choices. But they're also going to apparently take the stage and show off 3 separate Gears of War games. They want to have Gears of War 5, Gears of War, Halo Wars style, basically, will be a real-time strategy game that you play in Gears of War, and the third one is going to be Gears of War Battle Royale.
Please.
Yes.
Please. If they do that, first off, I will love it because of the live reaction that I'll have to it. But like, they can't be that damn stupid. You don't. That's literally like just driving the same thing into the ground and like sending it to like the fucking core of the earth. Like, get in there! Like, how could you do that?
It's so I'm literally probably one of the biggest Gears of War fans ever. I own not only every game, but every version of every game, including re-releases, special editions. I've read all the books, all the Gears of War comics. Even as somebody who's that into the series, this is so obviously a catastrophically stupid move.
Yeah.
3 though. Why do you need 3? Here's the only way they can make it make sense is if really it's the Battle Royale and Gears of War 5 should just be the same game basically. That should just be a mode in Gears of War 5. So if they do a Battle Royale mode that's separate, it better be free like Fortnite just to get people in. Their games as a service thing that they do now. The RTS game though, do they? I don't think Halo Wars sold that well. Like for them to be like, let's make this one an RTS.
I read Halo Wars 1 sold decent, and then didn't they do like a definitive edition on Xbox One?
Yeah, Halo Wars 2, man, that game struggled in sales. I don't even think it reached 1 million copies. Yeah,
well, and then they randomly put out a bunch of DLC for it, which I bet cost them more than it made. Definitely.
I mean, they can't. I mean, Gears of War 5 makes sense, but can they go ahead, BG? I'm sorry.
I mean, I've actually been saying I do want a Gears of War strategy game. I think that can work with that concept. I mean, it worked with the Halo concept, but it wasn't something that attracted. It wasn't mass appeal, but it could still be a good game.
Would you want it to be more like XCOM Tactics, or would you still want it to be large scale overworld RTS?
I like XCOM more. Pretty much anything that's like the XCOM formula, I'm gonna like. I loved Mario Battle Kingdom, so I'm biased. You make anything XCOM formula.
Limited tactics I could see with Gears of War, but if it's going Halo Wars, that's like base manipulation. That's building squads. That just seems weird to me.
Right. What was the other Halo? I mean, the other Gears they're making. The other one,
a Battle Royale one? Is that what you're saying?
No, Battle Royale, real-time strategy 1, and Gears 5.
No, don't do that.
That should be just part of Gears 5. That should be a mode.
Yeah. Like, why would it be why would you make a separate thing?
I feel like the only way that I think that would actually make the money is if they free to play it. The way, because I don't know if y'all have read, H1Z1 Battle Royale has already have 5 million players on just the PS4 version. It is making them a killing right now. Like, if you make a good Battle Royale game and it's free to play, people are going to download it.
But these companies, man, they're so short-sighted when it comes to that. They want that $30 to $60 up front.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to be like, here's the game for free and then give us a bunch of money in service-based stuff because people buy that stuff, man.
Well, they need to do something where it's like you pay $100 and you can get all 3 of the games or something. Like if they don't come out with some sort of Gears package, if they try and sell each of these for $60, they're literally blowing up the franchise forever.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that though. I mean, personally,
it sounds too hard to believe, doesn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be like 3 Gears of War separate Gears of War games all for $60, all announced at one point.
I don't know if it's 60, but the source is that all 3 of those are real, and that's the weird part to me is in general, like. I know that they need more brands, but I feel like that's going to confuse fans so much.
Who would be making these games?
Yeah, right.
That's the big question. Yeah, would it be the Coalition doing all 3 of them?
No.
And what's weird, we know Coalition isn't working on even Gears 5, right? We know that Coalition's working on the Perfect Dark game that got leaked.
Oh, really? I didn't know they were doing that. I thought that was somebody else.
Man,
I thought it was Rare actually, because based on what Rare was teasing, it's made it sound like Rare was working on the Perfect Dark game.
It would make sense with how little content Sea of Thieves had when it launched. They're busy working on that. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know the Coalition would be working on that. If you look at one of the rumors with the whole Rare thing, and Perfect Dark, like they were teasing it as if that, and then like we recently got the information like, oh well, yeah, they'd be willing to let somebody else like work on another IP. That's what Rare said.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of it. I'm like, and I was looking, I'm like, You fraud! Like, what have you guys done? Like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, like Killer Instinct. They didn't make Killer Instinct,
No,
you know. So
Iron Galaxy, right?
yeah. And then a different team, even before Iron Galaxy, there was a team that worked on it before then that got bought by Amazon. Yeah, so they didn't even work on their own IP. So them coming out years later saying, "Oh yeah." They'd be willing to let
get struck first.
I mean, I'd like to think that that they'd be doing something like I don't know, a Banjo-Kazooie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Gears of War 5 is supposed to be Splash Damage making it because they did the multiplayer for 4, and their business, their actual job listings make it seem like they're straight up working on the whole 5, like all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what I heard. We already had leaks that Gears 5 was being looked at, and we knew that Coalition wasn't working on it. That's what worries me, because I know some people are real mad about what happened with Gears 4, but I thought it was a really good game.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
I ask you guys a question real quick about Gears 4.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys feel that it was way too similar to Mass Effect 2 with the plot? I mean, that's the only thing that really made me just like,
oh my god, no, I never even thought of that, actually.
You never even thought of that either.
Yeah,
I didn't even end up beating Mass Effect 2, so I don't know what happened in that. But I did beat Gears. I did beat Gears 5. I mean, Gears 4. So
I just re-downloaded Gears 4.
I played both of them, beat both of them, but it just seemed to me like the setup, how everything was just so similar, which is not a bad thing. Mass Effect 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I just want to get you guys' opinion on that.
I think Gears of War 4 worked a lot for me. I probably just didn't see as many flaws with it, because I do like that it was so contained. It was really cool that entire game basically takes place over the course of 24 hours. You know, it's like somebody gets kidnapped and then you just go and save them. That's the whole entire game. I thought that was cool.
I feel like Gears of War 4 is one of the games that I've probably downloaded and deleted more than anything else at this point.
Yeah,
it's the file size is like what, 200 gigabytes or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
large.
It's like one on PC. I know it's over 100.
It's over 100 on the X too. I downloaded it yesterday and it was like 118 gigabytes. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Dude, if you want to play, I am a monster online. I mean, I can kill like 15 players by myself. So if you ever want me to carry you,
I'll play some Halo. With Halo.
My issue with Gears, the story at least, it's hard not to compare the new cast to the original cast, which had way more charisma. They were just way more interesting, you know, just of a crew. And then it's you know, his son, the girl was cool, but the other his friend was like, why are you here? I really don't know why you're here, besides the fact that you're his friend and you're like tagging along. You know, he didn't seem to have any relevance.
My only problem was with the characters. I think they tried to throw too many ingredients in the pot. The fact that we went from one bad guy faction, which is the Locusts, to all of a sudden having 3 bad guy factions with like these new evolved bad guys and the robot people. It was just kind of seems to be like, oh, too much at once.
I will play some Halo 5 with you though, Max, or some Master Chief Collection when that gets back up and running.
Yeah, man, legit. I am. I did Halo tournaments for a lot to years.
Dude, I could carry J.R. Smith to victory. So
good.
You would need Kyrie.
Dude, those are some of the best memes online right now. Oh my gosh, on Twitter.
I don't know how someone gets paid $12 million and doesn't know what the score of the basketball game is.
Especially the meme with him leaving the press conference. It is amazing.
Oh, where LeBron like picks up his suitcase, puts his glasses on, and
the minute I seen that, I'm like, this is the next greatest meme in history. I didn't even wait. I'm like, I know this is going to be happening.
It's awesome, man. It's like the Cavs lost, but everyone else won. Oh man, with those, the internet was great.
The Drake one was really good too. You guys know the Drake one with the baby?
Yeah,
Drake was just like, no, I'm good. That was good too.
Oh, that's awesome. So, well, okay, so the most concerning thing right now about Microsoft's conference, aside from stuff we don't know in Gears of War, is Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3.
Did you see there's that Forbes writer whose name escapes me, and he has some good sources inside of Microsoft, and he did an article yesterday that seemed really weird, but he said, I wouldn't put it past Microsoft to do a last-minute pivot of turning Crackdown 3 into Battle Royale. And it's
There's
like,
no way. Oh my gosh. If they here's the Crackdown 3 is something else right now. We've been talking about this game since 2014, I think.
yep, 2014.
And we don't know if it's coming out this year now. There was a serious concern. Here's the thing about Crackdown 3. Whenever anything bad happens, we all just assume it's canceled. Pre-orders were getting canceled from Amazon, and we all just figured it was canceled in general. But now people were apparently saying it's getting delayed, and then Aaron Greenberg answered back that it's not canceled. Well, he didn't say anything about getting delayed to 2019. So I don't know if this game can fall to 2019.
It's going to have to if it needs more time. If it's a broken game, then
at that point, put it on the shelf and bring it out as a launch title on the Xbox too.
They might do that. They might do that to where like you actually get like the game. It's like a cross gen, type of deal.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do they have to lose? I don't really think Microsoft has anything to lose. They're going to
they already lost everything.
They're going to sell what they're going to sell. I mean, I don't think
the issue with Crackdown right now is God of War was in development for 4 years, I think.
5 years. 5 years total, like from concept to ship.
They produced what was arguably one of the best games of the generation, and Crackdown is going to be in the oven for 5-6 years. It's going to be compared to a game of that caliber.
Yeah, but it's not though.
It looks like ass.
Crackdown has never been in the same caliber as God of War. Has always been better than the Crackdown games. I don't know why. Who would put it in the same caliber though?
Because how much money are they spending on it?
Yeah,
I don't know, but
same budget, same team size, same exclusivity agreement. Like it has unfortunate parallels.
I see none based on the franchise, the two franchises that I've played.
Look at it. Microsoft is really holding this Crackdown game up as like their big game right now.
Yeah,
I mean that's just what it is.
Which isn't saying much.
That's what I'm saying. But if you look at the Crackdown series and you look at the ratings that it's gotten, the sales that it's gotten over the years, I don't see how it's comparable to God of War.
No,
that's just my opinion.
It's not, but Microsoft isn't really giving us much more closely related to something like God of War to even compare. So it pretty much comes down to almost any exclusive that Sony releases, we compare it to the most recent thing that Microsoft is supposed to release. And they haven't been, they really just haven't been putting out. It's been like disappointment after disappointment for a while. And I don't think there were even rumors about it being canceled. They can't afford to cancel it. That's not happening.
Yeah,
it being delayed is more likely.
I mean, y'all have heard the term the sunken cost fallacy, like just for chat of like companies when they spend a certain amount of hundreds of millions of dollars on a project, no matter how bad it sucks, they still have to release it. People knew that the Justice League was bad. They knew that was not going to make money, but they had to release. They spent $200 million. They had to put it in theaters, and I think Crackdown's about to have that happen.
Let me go ahead and thank Riku Key 2, our new sponsor here on the channel. Thank you very much, Riku Key 2, for that.
And I know we come up with a lot of reasons why a lot of these games from the Microsoft studios seem to not fare so well, but I think. And there are many reasons, but I think one of the reasons that I see is there seems to be lack of head leadership at the studios, like that key person that is driving the ship and saying, this is the direction that we're going with this game. Because a lot of the games seem directionless. Corey Barlog been with Santa Monica, back when he was, just I think an animator. I think he was just one of the animators back in God of War 2. He's the lead now. Neil Druckmann. There was a time when he was just a lowly grunt at Naughty Dog. He's the lead now. So all these people that were nobodies before, they eventually become leads. And I don't really see that happening at Microsoft.
Well, yeah, because word was with Sea of Thieves, one of the biggest issues with it was how often everyone on the team would come around and be like, we want this in. And then the other half of the team would be like, nah, that's garbage. Let's not do that. And it was just this big argument back and forth until we got nothing. So,
I mean, what's the best example of that in Microsoft? I guess Phil Spencer, and he's not even directing a game or anything.
Overrated.
Or the guy at Coalition.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah, he worked on the previous Gears of War.
Yeah,
to kind of follow up. I'm sorry, on BG's point. Balrog had a really fast rise to the top. He actually directed God of War 2. He went from the animator, like you said, then God of War 2, bam, he was there. Then he took a break. You know what I'm saying? Then he kind of, because directing God of War 2 kind of took it out of him. But I see what you're trying to say, you know, like in terms of like people kind of stepping up, you know, after because Jaffe left, right? Because Jaffe did God of War 1 and Jaffe kind of went crazy after God of War 1, so they needed somebody else to kind of come in, and then Balrog stepped in, but then he kind of went crazy too after that. Because I don't know if you guys have watched the behind the scenes with those games, but they had insane development periods and just ridiculous pressure. But that's what you kind of need. I mean, I think you kind of need that to kind of make that type of game, right? Like if you want to be like make that type of game.
I see you, Orlando 28. Thanks. We'll answer that when we get later.
Did you hear the behind the scenes of God of War? This new God of War for PS4. They had terrible things where they were making a graphics engine while inventing the gameplay system, while writing the story, while trying to do motion capture, while trying to record the audio, while they were editing the script. So they said literally like every single day there would be a new problem with the lighting system, or all of a sudden Atreus would be walking on the bottom of the lake. They said like that game was just like unplayable for 60% of the development. It's amazing, and it came out as this masterpiece. But man,
you guys are bringing up all these points about how communication can affect it. How many studios is working on Crackdown 3 right now?
Yeah, right.
There's four studios, I believe, is working on Crackdown 3 right now.
Yeah, it's always interesting when I hear these studios talk about it, because I know, like Corey, who talked about, like, you know, as you said, the game didn't come together till like, you know, the very end. Like he even said they ran out of budget, they ran out of time for it, and you wouldn't know. You would never know, like, oh, we ran out of budget. That's why this part looks like that. Oh, like, no, this looks purposeful. Like the part where, well, I guess I can't say it. That might be a spoiler, but there's a certain part of the game where he said they didn't put enemies because they ran out of budget, and but it looks purposeful that there were no enemies there, stuff like that.
One of the most interesting is he talks about the fact that like they were just adding stuff in at the last minute. Like one of the things was when they were doing some of the final play testing, people kept stopping the boat to listen to the head. Well, I won't spoil who it is, but the head would keep telling stories, and players would stop in the boat to hear them finish a story. And they were like, it's weird that we keep recording people's gameplay and every person stops before they hit the dock. And it seems like they forget what the buttons are. And they were like, actually, you know what? Go back to the sound booth. Let's just record an extra like 1,000 lines.
Yeah, I learned about that the hard way, because there was a story they were telling, and then I get out of the boat and they were like, oh, we'll do that next time. And I was like, oh, no, what?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was Sean. How far did you get in God of War, Sean?
Man, I haven't played it in a while.
Oh my gosh.
I'll get it's hard, dude. It's hard.
I'm pretty crazy these weeks.
Yeah, like it's just hard, man. Like when I went on vacation and trying to review all these damn games. It's
this guy.
It took me a month, and I played on the hardest difficulty.
You played on the hardest difficulty, didn't you?
Yeah, it took me more than a month to be.
Yeah. That's probably a lot of playing through the same part several times with how hard that game is. That game's hard on like the regular difficulty for a lot of people. So, and you're trying to beat all the Valkyries and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of unfair stuff that designs they made in that game, like specifically with invincibility frames. Like, you know, in the previous God of Wars, if you did certain moves, no matter what enemy attacked you, the hit wouldn't register. Now nothing is safe. You get hit no matter what you're doing in that game. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend you spend some time with that game, Sean. It picks up really well.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going back through it. I'm trying to finish like everything. I figure out I don't really go for trophies, but at this point I'm just going to finish everything. Like I finished upgrading the axe all the way, and I'm just about done the other weapon. The weapon I shouldn't name.
It is an easy platinum.
Yeah, is okay. Okay, well, that's good.
I've gotten the platinum in every other God of War game, but I don't know about that. I could get it, but I just don't have the desire like I used to get platinums, you know. So.
Yeah, well, the thing is, so much of this game is just collectibles and a lot of backtracking and stuff. And I don't mind doing that.
I don't feel like getting all the birds. I really don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I'm because I'm gonna go back through some areas and I'll be like, maybe I'll find them, but. I don't know. I'm not like scrounging for birds like I thought I would be. Yeah. So yeah, I would recommend it, Sean. It's get back on that God of War, man. I had to go to GameStop and make you buy it.
Man, I hate spending money. You know that.
Oh gosh. Okay. So other E3 leaks we had Resident Evil 2 remake that apparently is showing up this E3, and then we also had Devil May Cry 5 that several retailers keep listing Actually, it's not Walmart this time, surprisingly, because Walmart just seems to want to ruin everything.
Big snitching.
Devil May Cry 5 looks to be a thing, though. PS4, Xbox One. It looked like apparently Sony held it off from the PlayStation Experience, I think, or last E3. I think it was the PlayStation Experience they held it off. Anyway, apparently we're going to see it this E3. And Resident Evil 2 Remake more likely will be there as well. Is anyone excited for either of those games just to see them finally? Because Devil May Cry 5 has been off for a while, I think.
Dude, I'm obsessed with Resident Evil. Actually, in fact, I even met the creator of Resident Evil. I'm probably one of the biggest Resident Evil fans. I set world records in Resident Evil Code Veronica, like speedrun world records. I'm obsessed with those games. So I'm so fascinated as to what this is going to look like, because
some of the details out there, man, are a little interesting. I think
I've been avoiding them for the most part because I want to kind of go into it blind. But I mean,
prepare to be ruined. No, go
no. Feel free to tell it to me now. Like, since we're all here talking, but what are people?
No real detail like with the actual like plot or like story.
Yeah, just like gameplay.
Let me ask Max this. Max, Resident Evil 2 has a fixed camera, right?
Yes.
Would it ruin the game for you if it was no longer fixed and it was over the shoulder?
No, but you'd have to rebalance some stuff.
Okay.
Because the reason those games, a big part of those games is the fact that the zombies each zombie is not actually that hard. They take like 6 bullets to put down and usually shoot them once more when they're on the ground. And seeing them was half the battle. People forget those actually had a quick aim system. If you double tapped aim, you would actually turn towards them. So aiming wasn't the trouble, but if you could just aim at everybody's head, you need to put a lot more zombies in there or make it where headshots aren't as effective.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I was curious to see how excited. I figured you were really excited for this game. Apparently, the visuals are supposed to be comparative to like God of War. Apparently,
I just can't, because I recently went back through the Resident Evil 1 remake and the Resident Evil 0 remakes on PS4. And those games still look so good. My imagination can't picture past that. So I'm ready to be blown away.
I wonder if they'll have VR in that. I wonder. Maybe.
My roommate has this crazy VR setup. I've been playing Beat Saber a lot. If we can get that in VR.
I think it might be a PlayStation exclusive, though.
Well, in that case, maybe.
You just have to get a PlayStation VR. Dude, you should buy one. They have the Days of, the Days of Play coming up. VR is like $200.
Don't you remember what happened last time Dreamcast dude tried to get into VR and tried to make some content? Remember, I don't think it's worth losing his life.
Oh, VR is terrible. Oh,
VR headset coming after you, man.
I almost died at E3 trying VR.
Oh man!
Wow. So it was Riggs. I was with the Guerrilla Games studio, the version of them that closed, whatever it was. And I tried it out, and I was great at first, and then like the last 5 minutes, I felt like my stomach go to my knees, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it. It felt that bad.
Ooh, play Wipeout. Dude, Wipeout is something else. That's like, I don't really get affected by the stuff that much when it comes to like VR stuff, but that's a game. If I went back and played it again right now, I probably would pop some Dramamine beforehand. That's bad.
I'm gonna be known as the guy that threw up, at the VR spot at E3. I was like, man, there's no way I'm gonna be able to hold this down. But yeah.
Yeah, Wipeout is probably the best instance of VR. Next, Resident Evil 7, I guess, is really popular. Resident Evil Biohazard is very popular for it.
I've been experimenting with a Skyrim VR because my roommate set it up real well. Man, any game where you have to walk, something about like walking in VR still doesn't feel right. It feels like someone's pulling your legs out from under you because your head is saying like, I am now moving, but your body doesn't feel like it. So you're still like, stop.
That's why like Wipeout works so well. Anything where you're sitting in like a cockpit or something works well. Like Ace Combat, I think is going to be really cool in VR when that comes out. But anything where you actually have to move or you use a controller to move your character, you just lose the immersion instantly.
Yeah.
So I don't care as much.
Even games that have motion blur almost kill me.
That State of Decay 2 has some of the worst motion blur I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, so a lot of people are mad because motion blur was randomly put into Dark Souls Remastered really heavily, and you can't turn it off. It's like the only graphical thing you can't turn off. So when you're literally like trying to turn to see if something's sneaking up behind you, it looks like someone's smearing a painting for a couple seconds.
See, I know the developers use that to like hide different things or to make it look better. But I'll live with some of the extra, the pixelated looks. Just if I can turn it off, I'm happy.
I've never understood. Like, I always turn off motion blur. I don't know why. I really don't like motion blur.
I've never met somebody who likes it.
Yeah, I don't think film grain and motion blur. I don't like when developers want to do film grain or motion blur. I turn that crap off.
There was only one game I actually played that I liked a form of motion blur. It was per pixel motion blur. So if one of the giant mutated rat creatures in Metro jumped at you, it would actually blur them specifically. So it made it a little better. Yeah. But that was probably the only time I actually enjoyed it. And before that, because they technically stole part of that engine from Stalker, they had a per pixel motion blur in that, and that wasn't even VR, and that was making their beta testers throw up just looking at the screen.
And like you said with players said with film grain, film grain was in Wolfenstein 2, and it was on by default. And I was looking at my monitor, and I was like, why does this look so bad? I'm like, I don't get it. And so I went into the options. I'm like, they had film grain like all the way up to max, and I turned it down, and it looked great. I'm like, why does this look good in any form or fashion? Why is it there?
I think it looks good in a couple Silent Hill games experimented with film grain, and I think it looked good there because it really helped you feel more isolated in a way. I felt like you stuck in a bad movie. I like that. But yeah, for shooters especially, God, that's really bad.
So Resident Evil 2 remake or Devil May Cry 5? Anyone into either of those? Looking to see either one at E3? Yes. I'm looking forward to both. Devil May Cry, I haven't been into that for a little while, but Resident Evil 2 remake, I'm definitely looking at.
RE2 remake and Devil May Cry 5. I love Devil May Cry 4. It's one of my favorite action games of all time. Bayonetta is, in my opinion, better, but because it came afterwards. But still, Devil May Cry 4 is still amazing. I love it. I like all the different stances that you can do. Devil May Cry 3 is really good. I hate 2 with passion. You guys already know that. 1 is awesome. But yeah, Devil May Cry 4 is really cool. So if they go back to that style, I'm going to be really happy.
I like 3 on the PS2 awesome. A lot. I like 3 on the PS2.
Very good. Did you play the original or did you play the special edition?
I played the special edition.
Okay, yeah, the original came. I didn't know. I thought I sucked when I played the special edition. I was like, man, I'm just no good at this. Or no, it's not the special edition. I meant the regular when it first, because I got it when it first launched, the regular one. But they messed up in the translation or whatever, or the localization. They made the hard mode the normal mode on accident.
So I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Dude, yeah, so people just thought that we just suck. We just can't beat this game.
I thought it was just a really hard game.
I don't think I've ever beaten a second boss in Devil May Cry 3. Literally never got anywhere.
Well, the special edition is rebalanced. It's back to normal, how it's supposed to be, where normal's normal mode and the hard mode's hard mode. But when it first launched, I just thought I was horrible. But I actually ended up beating the game that way. And I was just like, man, that was like in there, like, you want to play on hard? I'm like, no! Absolutely not. But yeah, I love Devil May Cry. Can't wait for Devil May. Okay. Whatever they do, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because apparently Capcom said that they are launching 2 big games that aren't been announced yet by April 2019. So we're probably seeing these then.
Honestly, if I had to swap one of those games out for Onimusha, I would do it.
Oh, I did. There's a trademark, I think, that was filed for that, right?
They've been talking about it, or I wouldn't even mind a Dino Crisis.
They also re-upped their Deep Down copyright.
I saw that. That was weird to see that. I guess it's still happening.
And Nintendo also filed for their Eternal Darkness, so you don't know what's gonna happen or not. When they file these things, I want to get like hyped about Onimusha or any of these games, but it's just like, man, are they gonna do anything though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I remember watching Onimusha cutscenes on G4 back in the day for Cinematech. That was the most amazing thing. That was when like the skeletons were appearing in the towns and everything and killing everybody. Mm-hmm. That was crazy. Then we had the Nintendo leaks. Did OJ? Do you have that screenshot in front of you or a list of games from it in front of you?
I know them off the top of my head.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and list those real quick?
Yeah. It's Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Paladins, Killer Queen Black. Then there's Overcooked 2. Those are pretty much all of the new games, what we didn't know about. There's like Monster Hunter, there's a couple of things, but stuff that we already knew about, Mario Tennis Aces, but Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Fortnite, Fortnite, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Killer Queen Black, Paladins 2, and Overcooked. Those are the 5 games that we didn't know about that are on the list. Everything else is stuff that's already been announced, FIFA 19.
Yeah, people weren't sure about the list. That list is accurate. Everything
is accurate.
Be there. Fighters or Fighter Z or whatever. I think you probably heard about it too, OJ. I heard about that like a month ago.
I heard about it well more than a month ago about fighters, about Dragon Ball Fighters, and yeah, because when everybody kept on saying, "Oh, where's my fighters?" I'm like, just calm down. It's coming. Like, relax. It's coming. So yeah,
I'm gonna be curious how that one does on the Switch, because Xenoverse 2 outsold the PS4 version in Japan on the Switch, if I believe that's correct.
Yeah, it did.
I'll be curious to see how that does performance wise for Bandai Namco.
Which one? Fighters,
yeah, on the Switch.
Oh, it'll actually perform. I think it has a chance to perform better because Xenoverse 2 is a big 3D open game. Fighters is a 2D fighting game. You know what I'm saying?
It has to have 60. It has to be 60 frames per second.
Oh yeah, and if you can run Fighters, I mean, I have it on PC, dude. It can run on like.
It has like that 540p mode or something like.
Yeah, dude.
Like, looks like a Game Boy Advance game.
You don't need a strong PC to run this, even like at 60 frames per second. It's not too bad.
I had some people ask me why people would buy in the competitive scene. I'll actually ask Evan. Evan, what's the thing we saw at the Tekken tournaments that we used to hold?
Well, this is probably the one main reason why I've been buying fight games on the Switch all the time. It's a great concept to, at tournaments, keep playing the game to maintain your abilities with the characters you use between matches, because it's to how the game is supposed to be played on monitor. So like, it's what you want to keep going back and forth with. You had that friend from GameStop who played on the PSP.
He everyone in Tekken.
he played around, just dominated. Perfect. I think it was a kid. That was the best moment ever, because everyone hated your friend because he basically beat this kid perfectly in the game. And then right after he walked away, he grabbed his PSP and just started playing to make sure he knew the combos for Jack. Like, he had to get them down perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw that a couple times with different games that were on the PSP and the PS3 at the time. So I wonder if like the competitive group would do that, if they would get into it like that, or people just buy it just to travel with it. I don't know.
As long as the frames are fine, I don't see why not. It's a great concept for that.
I'll probably buy it again because I really, really loved it on PS4. I beat it on PS4 and loved it a lot. But I think it's one of those games where I only got slightly into it. I feel like I'd get a lot more into it playing through it again on Switch.
Okay.
For someone who's a competitive Smash player, we would always play the Smash on 3DS. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would play in between and like and all that. And it was a great way. I would play it on my lunch breaks. It was a great way to just keep your skills sharp, you know. And with Smash on the Switch, the one thing about tournaments right now is like you have to sometimes wait for a setup, you know. Like, people are playing like friendlies, like to kind of warm up. You have to kind of wait for a setup unless you're in like a VIP room with like Nairo or something like that, which most people aren't. Most of the people aren't in those. So you have to wait for setups, and Smash on Switch or fighting games on Switch would just eliminate the waiting for a setup, waiting for a friendly and things like that. So that's why I'm excited for any fighting game to come to the Switch, because you don't have to wait for those. And like the tournament scene, like you could just play and practice, you know, when you want. So that's for me personally.
See, Sean's being quiet right now because he doesn't care about DBZ at all.
I just want to see how they do it since it's coming out so late. Are they going to just give everyone the DLC characters for the full price game? I'm hoping that's going to be the case. The ones that are current.
Yeah, so Sean doesn't care about DBZ. And then I told him, I said, we're not getting 1,000 likes on this stream. And he's like, I don't care about that either. So yeah.
We're not getting 1,000 likes. I don't like. You can keep the DBZ. You give me. I got my Street Fighter 30th. I got Blade Strangers coming out. I'm good to go with my fighting games. Maybe a little Blaze Blue. I might pick that up too. I don't need it.
Yeah, I thought I was going Oro. I think I'm going Yang and Third Strike though this time for sure.
Blaze Blue cross tag.
I'm getting that too. Blaze Blue's gonna be hot. It's gonna be nice.
I gotta say, Fortnite on Switch, I was the biggest person skeptical of that. I've even said on this podcast several times, I figured people are working on it, but I didn't think they'd throw it together this fast. I mean, they throw it together it's been about 8 months since they developed Fortnite Battle Royale to now getting it on Switch. So I'm really curious how that's going to play, because they recently came out with a patch, so it is now 60 frames a second on PS4, normal PS4 and normal Xbox One. And that 60 frames a second patch really overhauled how fast that game is. So I'm curious how well it's going to run on Switch.
Actually, that's what I made I made a video on that today. That was one of I proposed 3 questions with with Switch on Fortnite, or Fortnite on Switch, because the performance as far as in actual game, how the online is going to be, as far as, you know, we've never seen a game on a Nintendo platform that had you and 99 other people running around on it at the same time. And then the Nintendo Edge, like, because the way it looks like it's going to be a focal point of their E3 presentation. So we're going to see some shit like what they did with Capcom and Monster Hunter, you know, with the Zelda skins in those games. So I'm interested to see if there's going to be that sort of a little bit of Nintendo flair.
You know how many loot boxes they'll sell, premium currency they'll sell to get that Mario hat?
I mean, think about it though. They that was one of the things that everyone was hyped about when Rocket League finally came to the Switch was, oh shit, we get this Mario Kart and this Zelda, Metroid kart. So I mean that could be big.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like Fortnite that much, but everyone else does. That's
dude, I love Fortnite.
I'll be real, man. They build stuff. I just want to play Halo, man.
I just want to shoot.
That's right. I don't build nothing. I just.
But then they build stuff on top of me and wipe me out.
Yeah. Dude, I build fast. I build real fast. And building is good. I will say, I'm curious how many. I don't feel like we're going to get too many Nintendo cosmetics because I just can't imagine putting a Mario hat on while a character's holding a machine gun and killing other players. Like, that's hard for me to picture being Nintendo brand.
Yes and no, because I think Fortnite, if it was PUBG, okay, I'm on board with that. But Fortnite's definitely more of a cartoony aesthetic. So I think there would be a little bit more leeway.
Could they do like the Samus armor or the Samus helmet, maybe?
Yeah, stuff like that. I don't rule it. I don't rule it out. I will not be surprised if it happens. To me, it's hard to picture that. Like if they do it though, you're right. That is going to make mega bucks.
I will say, you guys are talking about 60 frames per second. The obviously the developing crew behind it, Epic, they probably have the best shot at getting that out of the Switch. So there you go.
Are they? Is the main way, the only way to communicate is still the phone app? Is that?
Yeah,
That's going to be a problem.
Still only for one game. I mean, Fortnite, if it became that, would be the one icon next to Splatoon.
Oh man, that would be rough.
That would not be good. No. I mean, do you? I don't play Fortnite much. Do you? When you do this? The singles, so you go in and it's just you, right? Can you talk to people like across the field?
It was area. It was area of
proximity.
Oh, okay. That's funny. Oh man, that must be terrible.
There is no proximity chat in Fortnite right now. There's only team chat. There's proximity chat recently was put in PUBG though.
I think Fortnite on the Switch is going to be a nightmare for like teachers. Remember like teachers complaining about kids playing it on their phones and everything. It's going to be a nightmare for them. And
my friend's a science teacher and they said they hate that game because literally they said you walk into the cafeteria now, it's just 400 kids all playing Fortnite.
Yeah. I at first when Fortnite first came out, I played it before it had this popularity and I loved it, right? I would get a whole bunch of, number one spots and everything like that. I would get a whole bunch of wins. And then because in the beginning of Fortnite, nobody actually built. Nobody used the building. Nobody caught on like, yo, this is a thing that can help you get a huge advantage. So I stopped playing it for a few weeks. I came back. Everybody's like, professional architects. And I'm getting destroyed, not because I'm getting outgunned. I'm getting outbuilt. I'm like, well, I'm a noob now. Like I'm trash. I'm outplayed. I can't build. I can't build as fast as everybody, so I just completely stopped playing the game.
There's a Twitch clip of one of the big streamers for it, and he builds a tower in maybe 10 seconds filled with traps. He just puts down a bouncing pad. He starts bouncing, and while he's bouncing, he just builds the tower, builds a thing to stand on, fills it with traps. The last guy runs in the tower, goes up, gets hit by all the spike traps, dies, and he wins. Dude, he does it in 10 seconds. I was like, who does this?
I had a thing the other day where I'm glad I saved the clip because I'm so proud of it. This dude was trying to flank me and the storm was coming. I managed to build on top of a house, construct a fortress, jump down above him, shoot him in the head on the way down, pick up a trap that he had, which was a springboard, build a tower of my own, and then springboard off that and outglide the storm right as I was about to die. And it's one of those things where it's like, I like building, but you definitely got to practice it.
I wish they would put in a mode that had no building.
A lot of people request that. A lot.
I did.
Why is that not a thing? Like that would be fun as hell.
Because it's just so much of the game. Like
they try to separate themselves. Yeah,
it's so ingrained into. It's like I wish there was a mode of Mario Kart where I could run across the field peeing on stuff. It's probably possible, but they're not going to do it.
Yeah, because I actually knew like one of the guys who I think he's the community manager at Epic Games, and I tweeted him. I said, just to like maybe get the thought rolling, just to put the idea out there. Maybe y'all should make a mode with no building. Right. And but I understand they're probably not going to, simply because that is what differentiates the games. But I would play that mode. I would play the game.
I'm 1,000,000% positive. Right now, download H1Z1 Battle Royale. It is free. And you know what? It is totally 100% Fortnite without the building, and that is why people are downloading it like crazy right now, because
Maybe I'll check it out.
It's fast and fun. It has the quick time to kill of Fortnite, but you don't have any of the special. It has realistic guns like PUBG, but there's none of the attachments and stuff. It is basically realistic non-building Fortnite.
Maybe I'll check that out.
I've been watching it quite a bit. I've been watching DSP and other people play the game, and it looks cool.
It's dude, I play it so much, and you know what's really cool is I just been playing with randoms. I just play duos with randoms, and I've actually made a ton of friends on there because the community is still small enough that everybody is super friendly.
It doesn't suck. Yeah.
Let's
this doesn't have the visual polish yet of all the other ones.
Yeah.
Let's move on here so we can rapid fire a few of these before we finish up with questions, and then finish up here. Mega Man 11, beginning of October. I believe it's October 2nd. Who's getting it?
I am.
Probably get it.
Yeah.
I'm not overly hyped about it, but it looks good enough. So I'll grab it.
$30, isn't it? I think
$30. Yeah,
$30.
I'm getting the amiibo. I'm going for the more expensive.
that one's $60. It's GameStop exclusive.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it, obviously, because I'm like the Mega Man person, but I'm gonna be curious to see how that game actually goes. I don't know. The art style is okay, but I just something about it. I don't know. It just I need to play it to really be able to tell.
Yeah, from everything we've seen, it doesn't feel like it's taking Mega Man to the next level, but it's just another Mega Man.
Yeah.
So I think
that's why it's
pretty
$30.
good.
Yeah. I don't think can they charge $60 for a Mega Man nowadays?
No,
not unless it's like a super super big and
40 boss levels and stuff like that.
Extravagant Mega Man, it would have to be something extravagant.
Legends 3.
Yeah, if they did Mega Man Legends 3, definitely.
They would get $60 out of me for that.
Yeah.
I like Mega Man. I can't remember the last one. The last one, it was X something. So I think multiple Mega Mans did this where I know the last one I played, of course, Sigma was the boss, or Sigma something was the boss. And after you beat all the bosses, you got to this area where they put you in, and before you fought Sigma, you had to beat all the bosses you beat already over again to get to Sigma.
I think they do that a lot. Yeah, they do.
Most of them do that.
And I was like, you're joking. Like, I got to do this shit all over. And then you couldn't, you had to do it, and you had to go to fight Sigma with the life you had left.
Yep.
From fighting all the bosses over again. There was no replenishing health.
Yep, that's how they get you. They try to make that real hard. But if you get there are some good upgrades you can get. In some of them, like X3, you could get the gold armor and the saber, so you'd wipe out the bosses real quick. But there was one, I feel like maybe it was the first one, Mega Man X. That was one of the harder final bosses. But yeah, they always pull that. They're like, oh, you got to defeat all the same bosses all over again in one room, and occasionally you'll get a little bit of life back. They pull that on you a lot. But they have the Mega Man coming out now. X, I like X series way better. That's me. I like Mega Man X. The Legacy Collection for that's coming out. But most people probably just honestly download the ROMs and play them now. But I'll be picking that up, the X Legacy. So I've always liked X more. I hope they do like an X9. Continue the X series, but we'll see. I'm getting Mega Man 11 though, definitely. That's happening. Fallout 76.
Yeah,
this was weird. So you guys saw the stream. They made a big deal about it. They left that stream up for 20 hours. It was a long time, wasn't it? It was like a whole day basically, a night. Fallout 76. Apparently, it's going to be an online survival style RPG.
Yeah,
multiplayer similar to Rust or DayZ is how it was described. This is weird.
I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how it is. I mean, because why not try something kind of different? I don't mind it.
At least they didn't name it Fallout 5.
Yeah, a lot of Fallout fans get crazy. I mean, I'm a big Fallout fan. I've beat Fallout 4, love it. I've got everything in Fallout 3. That game came out when I was in college, when I was a junior in college. So I was doing nothing. So I just, other than going to school and playing football. But outside of that, I was doing nothing. So I got everything in that game. Absolutely love it. So Fallout 4 was great too. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, and hopefully playing with Dreamcastguy. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of it. Man, I'm super curious because the way OJ, did you ever try the survival mod
in the PC version of Fallout?
And they put it on console as well. It was in 3 and 4.
I have some mods, that's like survival mods for a PC, but not on consoles now.
weights and how it made it where you had to drink water, and it had to be, and if you took rat away, it would actually lower your like other stats.
Yeah, okay, that's the one that's built in there. Yeah, I've actually played that. Okay, sorry. I thought you meant like the crazy survival ones that they do on PC that you can hook up.
Yeah, that's what it started as, and then they brought it over to the consoles and built it in officially. Some of the stuff I read makes it sound like it's going to be an online version of that, which sounds so hard, like super fun, but so hard.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. You know, I mean, I'm not sure what they're gonna do, but I'm just excited to see like the type of game that it's ultimately gonna be. Like if you can like go play and collect together and come back and build a base like you do, like, you know, that'd be cool. You know,
people really want Fallout 3 to have some kind of like, I guess, just a new not a new version, but I guess like a remastered version. I keep saying that 'cause the anniversary.
Yeah. You mean that? That's all I want. Like,
I keep saying that a lot.
That was my favorite Fallout. I didn't really care for Fallout 4, to be honest with you. But Fallout 3, I played that to death on the 360. So I'd love to see that sort of a remaster, all the DLC on whatever. I don't give a shit. Yeah, preferably the Switch, because that's what I like to play stuff on nowadays. But I'll take it. PS4, Xbox One, don't matter to me.
Okay. Yeah, they're actually dressing up buildings with the Fallout stuff now too. So this is actually gonna be a bigger title for them to announce and talk about there. It might even anchor their show at the end. That's what I'm thinking.
Man, I could see that.
I just want to see some gameplay, man. I want to see some gameplay. And what was it? Mr. Matty Plays, you know, he's the big Fallout YouTuber. He was saying that we might get this in the next couple of months. That more and more, Todd Howard's been saying that he hates ever waiting. He wants to show you a game when it's done and then put it right on store shelves. So Mr. Matty was speculating by some of the leaks that we may get it as soon as like September.
Oh wow!
Fallout 4 did that. They just showed it off at E3. Then they just released it. That
was what? That was somebody calculated. It was like 5.5 months. This one it sounds like it might be like 3.5 months.
Interesting. I mean, I like that better. I like to see a game and then get it, not wait. 5 years.
I can't stand when developers do the whole. I'm gonna talk about it for Xenoblade Chronicles X, just various different games. I mean, over the years, Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Those are the things that drive me nuts about sometimes with games where they just
Final Fantasy 7 remake and then Crackdown 3. You know?
Spider-Man. I mean, there's just been multiple.
Spider-Man's gonna be at 33 this year. At least it's coming out. But
like Horizon Zero Dawn was a while before it came out. I mean, like I remember covering that like at E3, like 2014. I think that's when I first met you, BG.
Yeah, we ran into each other. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So years ago, that was like when we first saw Horizon there. So it just took a while. So I'm just not a fan of that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm not like a massive Fallout fan or anything, but I'm very curious about this one to see how that's going to go over with fans. Because generally, the fans of the Fallout series like a single player, offline, deep RPG experience. That's we'll see. We'll see. Any thoughts on the Fallout 76, BG?
I'm not a Fallout fan, so it's never. I tried it. I tried 3, didn't connect with me. I tried 4. I'm like, I need to stop trying to force this. This is not for me.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I saw this and I laughed a little bit because it's Odyssey, but it at least makes sense with what they're going with here. It leaked out and then they announced it later on that day. I guess they were like, well, all right, fine. We're just going to go ahead and announce it. Nothing other than, I guess, that it's going to be in ancient Greece or just Greece in general back in the day. And they showed the helmet that was on the keychain and everything. And it sounds like it's coming out this year. Does that sound right? It's weird because they just came out with Origins last year.
Back to being annualized.
But that's how Assassin's Creed usually is, though. It's always they did
that thing where they switched off between Watch Dogs. I was like, this is actually a good idea. Like, not to, I guess, get really, I guess, too much Assassin's Creed. And I feel like that's why Origins, I think, benefited from that. But the problem with Origins, man, I played it, and I just started to get bored of it.
I got burnt out I couldn't beat it. I got burnt out maybe 30% through, and at that point I was like, I'm forcing myself to play this game, and I just put it down. It wasn't good to me. I still feel the best Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed 2.
I was gonna say 2. I like 2. Yep.
I like Black Flag.
Black Flag's good. I like Black Flag too, but
I like Black Flag and Rogue. Yeah, because I've beaten all of them. Origins.
I didn't play Rogue. Was Rogue good?
Yes, some of the fan base hates on it, but I like it a lot. I feel like it combined a lot of different features.
They just put that on the PS4, didn't they?
Yes, and it really well.
Xbox One.
and it's $30, and it basically combines a lot of different elements of Assassin's Creed 3 from the homestead and building up a base and running around in the wild and doing hunts, and then also all the ocean battles of Assassin's Creed 4, and it puts those together.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I'll check that one out then.
Cool. You play as a bad guy. That's kind of the most interesting thing.
Oh, really? Oh,
that's
cool.
You are a Templar. You are an assassin hunter. It's cool.
Huh? Maybe I'll actually check that one out then. Yeah, because Origins was, I don't know. Like BG said, I just got kind of burned out. I was like, I guess I'm gonna go do this exact same thing again.
I think I might have done a lot. I did a lot of side missions. People were telling me, you shouldn't have done so many side missions. You got burnt out. I'm like, well, it's a problem if side missions do that to me.
Yeah, it's because I guess they couldn't get creative enough with them, and they were just repetition.
Did you read the leak? But just before we move on to questions, I was reading a big leak that apparently Odyssey is. They said as much as Origin changed up the gameplay, Odyssey is going to change things up 5 times more. The point is that they're trying to make it more and more different from the original Assassin's Creed brand.
I fell for that with this last one because I'm like, okay, they took 2 years off. This thing gonna be brand new. This thing gonna be different. Nope.
Well, in the new combat system, in my opinion, I did not like the new combat system. It was too different for me.
Does anyone think that it's a little weird? Like, do you think they could come up with a better name after Mario Odyssey was just out and anything else? I don't know.
It's a good name, man.
Yeah,
I would have chosen Oasis or something. Yeah, Odyssey is a bit of a weird.
Because I just feel these all these Ubisoft games. The problem is just these gigantic worlds with not much substance in them. It's not a fun world. It's just like gigantic. Because I really do like Ubisoft as a developer, but it was the same thing with Wildlands. I bought Wildlands, but I couldn't finish it because it was literally just this huge world, looked good. But the missions were all the same. Yep.
Well, and what sucked is, man, they totally lied in that trailer where they were like, if you sneak up at night, you can go stealth. And if you go during the day, and literally every single mission is fly out with a helicopter, land, get silenced weapons out, shoot the guards, go in there, capture some. Every mission was the same.
Well, maybe they'll give us a different type of game with Splinter Cell at E3.
Right.
Splinter Cell has never let me down. So
there you go.
Splinter Cell.
We got one more topic to cover. I'm going to skip Intellivision because I realized when I was looking at, there's not as much information out there as I'd like there to be. There's apparently a new Intellivision game system. I can't believe it either. Getting announced October 1st, I believe. So we'll see.
Tommy
about that.
Tallarico.
Yeah, I know. Atari VCS.
Fuck that thing. What are you? Why? What are we giving your money for? You literally, there's nothing. There's nothing.
Have you looked at it recently, Sean?
No.
What do you want to know the number that it's at now?
I don't, but you're gonna tell me anyways.
I'm gonna tell you. It's at 2.384 million. So it's almost 2.4 million. 9,200 people have backed it.
I'm gonna buy this just so I can and make sure that I send every video to you. Sean.
I actually did. I actually bought in for it because they sent me the coupon, so it was off. It was like I think it was like $200 instead of $300. Because I was gonna check it out on the channel and everything anyway, take it apart and everything. But I also want to do that because if they don't send it to me, then I'm definitely making a video about them not sending it to me.
Did they end up having this? Because I haven't looked at the Kickstarter, but did you see
Indiegogo, because you don't need a working prototype.
Well, did you see somebody kept posting the leaked specs of it and the mods are deleting it? They're trying to cover up the information. They don't want people to see that it's super underpowered.
No, they put the specs on the Indiegogo.
Okay, cool. Before it came out, they were stomping those out, man.
What's weird is the specs actually aren't terrible. I was actually a little surprised when I read them.
But it's just like it's like when they said they're we're partnered with these people, but we don't have any games to show you. They're literally showing you 2 games. One game is available on Steam, which is a collection of 2600 stuff. One game is Tempest 4000, which is releasing on PS4 and Xbox One this summer, I think it is. And this isn't coming out till July 2019. The earliest, if you ever give into an Indiegogo, you've ever given to a Kickstarter, bullshit on those estimated times. Add 2 years to it minimum. I don't care if it's a game, a movie, a soundtrack, a musical composition. Add 2 years to it bare minimum. And it's just by the time it comes out, it's like, what is it going to be? Like this, it's worse. Worse, at least Ouya was like what, $100? Like
100, yeah.
$300 to come with a fucking controller.
Yeah, it doesn't
They're
come with a
selling
controller.
a system without a controller. They're bundling a system with the one joystick and the one button.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's basically a little PC they're shipping out.
Exactly. You can already buy mini PCs. Buy one of those Dreamcades that's coming out.
Are you telling me that you're not backing the Indiegogo? Sean?
Hell no.
Sean, he's gonna back it. Don't tell him he won't. He's gonna back
Are
it.
you telling me that
Hell
you don't
no.
like what they're doing here, Sean? I don't really see the point you're trying to
Spell
make.
it out for us, please.
I'm not a fan of it. I think it's just very strange.
What's go ahead, Sean.
It's just so weird to me. I thought that there was no way that they were gonna get, over $1 million, but they got. It is kind of suspect how they got that first mill though, like so fast. It was like
They got that in like 30 minutes.
yeah.
But conspiracy theories, like, hey.
I got my tinfoil hat on.
What's really weird is, dude, there are like shadowy people obsessed with that console. I'm sure you've noticed this. If you make a video talking bad about that, there will be these people, like, you'll get like 600 dislikes randomly, where it's just like people are really happy about that trashy console. It makes no sense, man.
I mean, I'm just concerned because there's going to be a lot of disappointed people if it comes out.
Well, but the weird thing is, this is definitely one of those things where I feel like they're going to take that money and they're going to spend it and nothing's ever going to happen. And by the time they cancel it in 3 years, it's going to be so old news, nobody's even going to cover it. Like, they know that they can just get away with ripping people off.
I mean, they've just there's just been so many red flags with the Atari brand stuff. Remember the speaker hat?
Yeah.
What the hell was that? $150 for a hat with speakers on it? Like,
did you see the weird guy?
to come up with that.
The weird guy who's designing the Atari box, he's like a weirdo millionaire, weird guy, be like, we are going to be combining the best facets of, and he's just like clearly does not know what the hell he's talking about at all.
Who runs it now? It's not Atari. Who's the company that like
his name is
Atari
something.
like Playtronic or something, or what is it?
I've learned that there's a lot of rich people who will invest in anything that they think has even the smallest. Like I'm seeing this almost firsthand with something my friend is doing. It's like actually a couple friends, different people doing different and completely different things, but like there's just these rich people who will just invest money in something that might work. And if it doesn't work, it's like, oh well, whatever.
See what sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, definitely.
Sean, would you say write off, Sean?
Yeah.
It's a write off. I need to make sure they send me that receipt.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's move on to questions. I thought Sean, I thought it was gonna go way worse than it did. So good job.
I tried. To be good.
I thought I was gonna have to call like the fire department or the hospital or something for you. Let's go to questions and then we'll finish up. Evan, do we have anything in the Discord or
just one?
Why don't we start with that
basic.
one?
Yeah, how would you prefer Star Fox Grand Prix be shown to us, either at E3 or in its own direct?
At E3, I'm fine with that. I mean, they got to show it first, and then what they could do is when they get closer to release, like what they did with ARMS and Splatoon, then it gets its own direct, because I think that worked well for something like an ARMS. But I think they just need to show it because people aren't even supposed to know about it now. Everyone does. So I'd rather just see it at E3 as like a compilation thing, and then we get more information about it as we go along. But
this is pretty much safe to say that it is actually a racer.
it's like, it's like an adventure racing game. I get Diddy Kong Racing.
The trick is what kind, like how open is the world, or is it just specific tracks? No one's really sure.
Because I never thought Nintendo would, make another one simply, since they got Mario Kart and they don't want to compete within. But I mean, I'm down for it. If it's like Diddy Kong, listen, Diddy Kong is arguably to me top 2.
It sounds like they want to go with a racing side, but add more to it and not mess with the obvious seller that's Mario Kart. It sounds like, because from what we keep hearing, it's like an adventure racer. And it's hard to, it's something we just gotta see, I think. But if it's like Diddy Kong Racing, I'm in. I'll buy it. I'll check it out. Because Diddy Kong Racing was awesome on the 64. Yeah. Absolutely. Probably a lot of licensing issues, I think, in there, probably with Rare. Right.
Yeah. They did the DS one.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't know. Either way, if it's like that, but with like Star Fox, I'm alright with that. Star Fox is a weird I mean, Zero didn't do anything, so it wasn't very good. Anything else, Evan, or
That's it from there.
that's it? Okay, let's go down some of these questions before we finish up. Brain Glick said, glad you got your Kanto Switch game Spawn. Yeah, I wanted Kanto out of Pokemon. I didn't want 800 something to start off with because I'm an old guy. I just wanted something that worked with my link cable back in the day. I got my core Pokemon edition next year. Yes, so a lot of people might even hold off for it, but I still think most people buy that just for collection purposes. Dreamcast got his something else Pokemon.
Is he making fun of me for saying that Pokemon Quest doesn't look like trash? I think he is.
Here's the thing, Pokemon Quest. We didn't even talk about that. I played it. And immediately I was like, this is a mobile game on the Switch. Like immediately I was like,
I put 4 hours into it. I do think it's a good mobile game. It is.
I think it'll be great on mobile, but I'm like playing it. I'm like,
well, any game where you have a cursor on the screen to click buttons drives me nuts. Like this is clearly for touch interface.
That's the first thing I said is this is definitely a mobile game.
I can't. But the thing is, I can't complain about it because it's free. I'm like, all right, yeah, sure.
Well, the trick is it's basically an idler game, but it has some semi-action abilities to it, but it's missing like 40% of what most cell phone idler games have. So that's why I think Pokemon's involved as like that, because without it, it's nothing. No one would give a crap about this game.
Have you played a bunch of it, Evan?
Almost done.
Oh, you should make a video on it, dude.
I've literally not like I say I'm almost done, but I haven't seen too much of it because it just sits over here and I just poke things and then I do other stuff over here.
Oh yeah, that's how you play those kind of games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We talked about NX Revolution, saying what is better internet. We talked about that. Avedon Smith, again, Avedon, shout out to him. Go check him out. Ivan has skills. You think Sony learned their lesson from last gen? What are your thoughts on Atari? Is it serious now? Surprises for E3? Shout outs for BG, Dreamcast, RGT. Lesson from last gen Sony. Oh, are you talking about like the PS3? I assume with like high price system. It's super difficult to program for hardware and architecture and everything, and just basically thinking people would buy their system just because. I think $400 is their magic price. Honestly, I don't think they want to go over that, especially with even the PlayStation 4 Pro was $400. I think the next gen system will probably be $400 too. PS5. We already talked about Atari. Sean actually did all right, so good. Then surprises for E3. Is there any surprise that you guys think could show up there? Just off the top of your head, one big surprise.
I think we'll see gameplay for Stalker.
No. They're actually. It's funny. They're actually going to E3 looking for a publisher.
Oh god damn it!
Yeah, we're not seeing that for a long time, dude.
Like if anything was going to come out as like the next battle royale, I would have preferred it to be like a Stalker game. Like that one would have been.
That could have worked. Yeah,
the multiplayer in Stalker was so incredible for how short-lived it was, and it would work so well as a battle royale game.
That would have worked. Yeah. Yeah, it would have worked.
I think real quick. I think we'll finally see something Chrono Trigger related. I don't know. Hopefully it's a remake. I think it's time. And like I said, I'm holding these bums Square Enix, and I say that lightly. I don't mean that for real, but I'm holding them to their words and that they want to retroactively reboot IPs, whether it's on the Switch, whether they I don't care, but I want to see them some type of old school reboot. If it's not Chrono Trigger, something from their past coming back, Illusion of Gaia, Secret of Mana, like a real Secret of Mana remake, not that thing that they gave us, something like that. Secret of Evermore, something classic franchise from that golden age coming back, like all new graphics. So I think that would be like my something cool. Crazy.
I think we're gonna see gameplay of the new BioShock.
New BioShock. That'd be interesting.
I think there'll still be some surprises.
Yeah, there's always at least one. I don't know. I'm never really good at like I'll say something, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Like maybe a new Getaway or a new Siphon Filter. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Ooh, Siphon Filter would be cool.
Siphon Filter was rumored. Isn't there a rumor?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a rumor going around about that.
I feel like
that would be cool.
Forever, though.
Dude, I played all those. Even the ones people hate, like Logan's Shadow. I love all those, man.
I'm gonna give Microsoft throw them a bone and say they'll get creative and actually do something with Banjo-Kazooie.
Wow.
I know, right? That's the thing we're talking about. It's WoW because it's not a shooter. Is basically Maybe it will be a shooter. Maybe Banjo just goes crazy one day. I don't know.
Banjo-Kazooie Blood Vengeance.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've done it before with Conquer. Kind of.
Yeah.
Dude, what if Banjo showed up and they did an exact thing to him? Like Super Lucky's Tale didn't work, and they were like, you know what? Banjo just had a bad day today, and it's it. That would be. I would buy that. I would buy that. Let's see. Toki Cruz, Pokemon. Let's go to the polls. I guess that's something with Hillary Clinton. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a good one.
No idea. I'm not really into politics, so I don't know. Nicholas says Pokemon Coliseum had no wild Pokemon, still had level progression, just need to rebattle trainers or have a dedicated area for multiple battles.
Well, and since it's linked to Pokemon Go, you know the level system in that, right? Capture something, get Stardust, use it.
Oh, they better not do that. Oh man,
I'm still my mind's still blown because I keep checking the subreddit for Pokemon Go. They keep saying they're going to add multiplayer and trading and all that to Pokemon Go, and I guess no one.
Dude, that was so long ago.
They still say it. I don't think anybody's realized that. Yes, they're adding it now. It's a $360 DLC if you don't own a Switch.
Nice. That's right. Yeah, because you switch, you can transfer Pokemon apparently from Go to that. Oh, that's how they got him. They got him. I wonder if that'll make it so that if you have a really good Pokemon Go account, if all of a sudden your Switch version you just become ultra powerful.
Well,
from the sound of it, it's Safari Zone. Like if you want to put something from Go into that version, it actually Safari Zones it and you capture it at whatever power.
So I'm about to sell my Pokemon Go account for some money then.
The question is, what can you transfer? Because it's just the early one, so I don't think I can transfer
Gen 1.
So
it's any one Pokemon at a time as well.
Yeah,
and I think that they might put limits on you in terms of how many Pokemon you can transfer in a day or something like that. Like they might do some.
I've heard it's one ever. Like you can put one from your on your Switch at a time. So that way, if you want help, you can transfer one over, but you can't have like a whole team of your Pokemon Go ones.
Let's see. We have Alton saying Squirtle Squad all the way. Yep, I remember Squirtle Squad from the cartoon. Yes. Matches. Ghost type was the best type. Ghost type was the cheating type because if you had like a fighting type, you could not do anything to them.
Normal.
No physical attacks, right?
Yeah. So you roll into that fighting gym and it was over.
No, I think some physical attacks are Ghost Pokemon though, right? There was some.
Nope. Anything normal would pass.
I couldn't remember if which move was it that was normal that always hit? Was it Swift?
Swift.
Yeah,
I feel like that would work again.
Because I don't know why I feel like it was like Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan. Like they had like something had a rollout
like
move.
A kick. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And it used to affect those Pokemon, I feel.
Because I remember there was one time I rolled in there and Hitmonlee used some like fire kick or something and it hit him. And I was like,
oh yeah, it's because it's elemental fire punch.
That's because it's fire though, because it has the fire elemental.
Fire punch, thunder punch, and ice punch eventually.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Hitmonlee was cheating, man. Fire kick. What? Yeah, no, but like if you rolled into like what was it? Machamp would use like his seismic toss and it was just nothing, it wasn't affected at all. But Ghost type was good. They were weak against Psychic, I think, and they just got destroyed by it.
They were weak, but then eventually it became one of those mutual destructive things because it just seemed to work.
I don't know, man. They started introducing all these other types. Now it was it for me. It was over. Like what was it? They had like the dark type.
They added dark and steel, and then they added what? Fairy.
Then there's
that was it.
The types got way too specific.
Yeah, I was in trouble, man. Then they started introducing like water and fire types. There was the same Pokemon. Yeah. There's a Pokemon that's a water and a fire type, right?
Yes, it was a steam. One of the guys. Yeah.
So weird, man. Leo says, I know everyone bought red and blue strategy guides. I think I asked for one of those one time for Christmas, and I got
a yellow strategy guide, and it was back then you needed it.
Yeah,
because it wasn't much of a thing.
Bullshit internet.
Well, I actually did have internet because I actually
rich kids.
My dad actually had to work from home, like telecommute or whatever. So we had two phone lines, and one of them was always for the internet. So I actually downloaded the Pokemon Blue ROM when it first showed up on the internet to play it.
Wow!
And it ran at 4 frames per second, I think, on my like 90 megahertz computer.
So just like the Game Boy then.
Yeah.
Just like the Game Boy. So you're good.
Dude, when I got the Game Boy, I was like, this is how it's supposed to run? It was so fast. I was like, how do I slow this thing down, man?
No, but I mean, like Pokemon Yellow, like I always like use the guide and like you saw like the little like hexagon type of deal, how like what you needed to to the stats and all that. You needed it because like I didn't have the internet like that. We had Net Zero, but I didn't know where to go.
I would go to Game Winners. There was no
I
Game
remember
Facts
that.
did this then. Game Winners. Game Facts did eventually come around. That was like the most amazing thing ever. But it was
I was so poor. A kid gave me a destroyed. This is a true story. A kid gave me a destroyed strategy guide. So what I did is actually kept it in a series of folders. So all the spine was broken. So I'd actually have to open up the folders. Like, oh, okay, I'm playing through Pokemon Yellow. I need to go to folder 6 to see this gym. And I just ended up memorizing it because it was such a pain in the ass. I memorized that whole strategy guide.
Let's Orlando says LOL at J.R. Smith. Yeah, he's like the best part of the internet right now is J.R. Smith. I know it's off topic, but I love quick predictions for the NBA Finals from the panel. Also, any Switch news from EA besides FIFA 19? I don't think so.
Cavs ain't winning shit. Cavs shouldn't even be there. It should be the damn Celtics and the Warriors, and then it would have been a fun competitive series. But no, now we're stuck with this bullshit.
The Rockets and Celtics would at least been interesting.
The Rockets and Celtics would have been interesting, but the Celtics versus Warriors would have been a wash. Warriors would have washed that team.
Yeah, they would have won.
What are they going to do with Cleveland?
Cleveland's horrible.
I know.
Yeah, but at least they have the star power. Like LeBron, obviously, is
But
star power.
LeBron,
Makes it
they have
interesting.
LeBron. All they have is the Cavs have LeBron, and that's essentially it. And then Love's okay.
As much as I do not like him, shout outs to LeBron for actually being on a pretty damn mediocre team and bringing them to the finals. That team is horrible. That is one of the worst finals teams that I've ever seen.
He has Korver and Love.
Very, very impressive. Very, very impressive compared to what he usually brings with him to the finals.
Yeah.
However, Golden State in a maximum of 5. Cavs may squeak one out.
Gentleman sweep.
Yeah,
I agree.
Do you think they just win one at home? The Cavs just happen to win one.
I think they'll sneak one at home.
They'll get one out. They'll get one home, but they can't beat this team. The Warriors are way too good. And Draymond, I hate him. I don't want him to get a ring. I like the team, but I hate Draymond. He acts like he's so good, but he plays on a team like literally with Hall of Famers.
Right, but that's why he works so well, because he gets under the other team's skin so easily. Because they're thinking exactly. See, you hate him and you're watching him.
Draymond plays the meta game. It's the meta game with him. It's not about it's all meta. It's all.
I mean, half of basketball is mental, and he's in there. You know.
Yeah,
like, see, you hate him and you're watching. Imagine the people on the court that aren't losing to him; they're losing to his friends. You know.
My only beef with Golden State is I'm still salty that KD went there, because they were a fantastic team without him, and it was a team that was actually built somewhat properly. You know, not these super teams where it's like, I want to go play with my friends and we're gonna play together. You know, but
if he ever goes back and wins one and No. OKC now. Okay.
No. But I mean, you know, it is what it is, and you know, but yeah, and I don't know. It's just NBA. It wasn't a good season.
Yeah, it's kind of a boring. You think LeBron leaves and goes to anywhere else?
Houston or LA?
Philly.
Houston would.
I keep hearing Philly. Yeah, I hear Philly a lot.
Philly.
I would actually go to a Sixers game if he went. If he went there. Yeah, I would do.
I definitely go to. But those ticket prices would be insane. But
that's true.
Those ticket prices would be way too much.
So one time LeBron actually came to Philly, I remember I looked up tickets and they were so much higher than usual. And that was when the Sixers were terrible. They won like 8 games that season.
Yeah.
But I would at least check it out, just for fun.
I would definitely go to a game. I would have to go to a game if LeBron went to Philly, because Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they're amazing, great players. So it would be fun to watch him there.
Yeah, the Sixers would be really good next year if that happened then.
Oh my God, they would be the team to beat. I mean, Celtics. Well, obviously Celtics would give them a. That would be. It wouldn't, like, because you have like Gordon Hayward and Kyrie were out, and the Celtics were still really good. You know?
The Celtics could have should be in the finals, in my opinion.
Should.
And they were without their 2 best players, essentially. So
that's because they have the best coach. But
yeah,
I think the coach is more to do than anything.
Let's move on to the next few questions before we finish up here. The EU is going to destroy the internet with this from Greenway, by the way. EU is going to destroy the internet with Article 13, which is basically ACTA on steroids. Also, I tried VR at last E3 and it wasn't that bad for me. Okay, it affects different people different ways. The EU is going to destroy the internet with Article 13. Has anyone heard about this?
It was something about having to like pay or something.
It was something about sourcing other sources essentially, and then you have to like pay.
Well, everything you put up needs to be like copyrighted or something, and you have to pay them in order to like keep track of it for you.
What?
What is this, like content on the internet? Like what? Article website? Like,
hang on. Well, you have it linked. Someone linked it on our Discord.
Yeah, well, apparently it can really damage what everyone's doing now.
Memes, remixes, and other types of user-generated content will all be put at risk, they claim, as they could technically be seen as breaches of copyright.
Yes, that's right. They're breaches of copyright, essentially, for like creating videos or articles around, I guess, sources of information.
But I mean, that's just in Europe.
Yeah, it's in the EU.
Whatever.
Wow.
God bless the USA.
Sean just goes back to sleep. Whatever.
But you have to worry about stuff like this because if it gets passed in one country, it can get easily passed in another country. Like once things become law, it's easy to transfer law.
That breaks so many. That breaks fair use. That breaks so many different.
It is, and that's the thing though, is if because London also has some things that we don't have yet, like the right to be forgotten. Have y'all heard of that law? Where like if you delete something online, the company has to delete it forever.
Well, London also has other weird things, or like to where people can get like set in prison for jokes, like that Count Dacula dude or whatever his name is. So I mean,
Nazis.
I doubt that stuff's gonna roll over. It's not gonna roll here. Okay. I really doubt it.
So yeah, I guess vote against it. People in the EU, I guess. Vote against it. One more question and 2 more comments here. We got a Ballistic Zombie Minecraft Pro, which is an interesting username. No comment, just a donation. Thank you. Brain Click again saying Soul Silver, best main game, full Kanto map, new stuff. I didn't actually play Soul Silver, but I keep thinking about checking it out. But then I look up prices for it, and I'm like, maybe not. It's still an expensive game. Laudmont says, I bought the $364 collector's edition wood grain model. Smiley faced at Sean.
Jesus Christ.
And that's where the million came from right there.
Oh, man. And then the last one, Kuru Tengetsu says, would like to see Xbox Portable. I've heard about.
Oh, the new
Windows 10 like like a tablet? Is that what you said?
I think they're just talking about an Xbox Portable. But Microsoft can hardly provide games for their main console. I don't think they need a handheld.
One thing I've always given Microsoft credit for is because they stood in their lane with just a console. They know they would not be able to provide enough content for a handheld. That's not their thing. And I always appreciate that for them. Stay in your lane. That's not for you.
They talked about it theoretically, like 12 years ago now, maybe 14 years ago. They joked about the fact that it's like, we have the technology to create a handheld. We just aren't going to because we're afraid that people are going to end up choosing Xbox or Xbox Portable.
Well, they have their what is it, the Surface Pro? So if they ever get Game Pass to go to their Windows store, there's your portable. There you go. As a handheld, probably no. And then Brain Glick says OJ with Smash coming. Please let Melee go. He's telling you to let, I guess, Melee go.
I'm a competitive Smash 4 player. I played Smash 4, not Melee. I played Smash 4 and Brawl competitively, not Melee.
Gotcha. There you go.
It's usually the opposite.
Huh?
It's usually like all the people that have been playing Smash for a while, they don't like Brawl or 4, but they still go back to play. They still consider Melee the best.
Yeah. There's people that have been playing for a long time. Melee got the height of the competitive community. I didn't play Melee competitively. I played it a lot, but I never played it competitively like that. I watch it. I love it. I know all the guys. I can tell you everything about Melee competitively, but I never played it myself. I played Smash Brawl, and then I got really competitively into Smash 4. So
Melee's never going away, huh?
Melee's not going away until Nintendo makes a Melee HD. Until Nintendo makes it Melee HD, Melee's not going away. Because it's not going away.
That's the oldest game at E3 every year. I mean, not E3, Evo.
Yeah,
wow.
It's by far the oldest game. It's not going away until Nintendo makes an HD. The reason why it's not going away because there's so many mechanics and new stuff, and there's new players. There's guys that are like 19 years old that are just coming up right now. So guys that were like not even born or just like they were babies when this game came out.
That's crazy.
That are getting into the scene now at this point. So there you go.
Then Sac10 says support Peru this World Cup. Okay.
I'm good. I'm gonna support Nigeria and women's US.
There you go. Then we'll finish up with Info Arcade, and then we're all finished up here. We'll do outros. What's it going to take to save Microsoft this E3? What games do we need to see and what devs?
A miracle.
Halo. No, I'm going to give a serious answer. And I think
I was gonna say Halo 6, but that's
I was going to say
too,
Halo
yeah.
6 needs to be amazing, and I think they need to show a lot of gameplay at Halo 6. Remember the emphasis they put on Halo 5, where they came out and had like a full co-op mission on stage? Like they need to do that with Halo 6, and it needs to be wow.
It's a shame they didn't lock up Anthem. That'd have been a good one to lock up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's that rumor that they're going to come out on stage and announce Borderlands 3, and they're going to put it on Games Pass. We'll see if that happens.
I just need Halo, the next Halo to be on PC, which everybody thinks it will be.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that's always bothered me, and I guess it's people who have been playing Halo for a long time, it doesn't bother them anymore, is the field of view. How close that camera is up on, it's claustrophobic to me, and I hate it. I hate that you can't see around you.
It got worse when they added like the visor effects at one point and everything. It was like ODST had that at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, man. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. Man, I wonder if that I don't even know what Halo would look like if you blew that.
If you could actually see around you?
Yeah.
I bet not.
I don't know what that kind of world's like. That'd be interesting. I think you're going to see Halo on PC. I honestly, you might even see Master Chief Collection on PC soon, which would be interesting because then all the Halos are on PC. All right, cool. I guess that's going to do it for episode 61. It's a lot of fun and talked about all the E3 stuff. This is the last episode before E3 technically starts because EA Play is on Saturday, so I'm sure we'll see all kinds of boring stuff, and then we'll probably see some terrible performances from people as well. So, but we'll look for Anthem. Anthem will be pretty fun, I think, to see, and some other stuff. So let's go around here. We'll start with BG. Where can they find you, man?
On Twitter, I'm just Weapon Wheel Pod. It's Weapon Wheel POD. It's my Twitter handle. And you could just on YouTube just search for a Weapon Wheel podcast. That'll come up. And yeah, we're live on Sundays at 6:30 p.m. So yeah, come check us out.
Yep, cool. 6 p.m. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, guys.
Yeah,
so make sure you guys go see that tomorrow. Yeah, actually that works well. Yeah, go stop by tomorrow and check them out. We'll talk about all kinds of gaming stuff and everything. I don't know, who are we raiding? Do we have anyone to raid, guys, while we're going to outros here?
Yeah, Avidin streaming.
Oh, cool, Avidin. Yeah, we'll raid Avidin. That's cool. Let's go around to OJ. Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you just find me right here on YouTube. Just PlayerEssence. You'll be able to find me and look me up there. I do a lot of Japanese gaming, RPGs, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, Lost Odyssey. Still praying and hoping for that. Hopefully Microsoft announces that at E3.
That'd be cool.
Yes, that'd be cool. Or Blue Dragon, one of those two for Microsoft Xbox. Don't know if it'll happen, but I hope. So yeah, I cover stuff like that. And yeah, just more Japanese RPG gaming, all that type of stuff. So yeah, go and check it out. PlayerEssence right here on YouTube.
Cool. All right. Very good.
I'll link my channel in the chat.
Yeah, drop that in there. And then we have of course Sean. Sean, where can they find him, man?
Find me in your local dumpster. I'm sleeping. RGT85 everywhere. Here I am. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing this week as far as videos go, but I'll probably do something. I'll probably bitch about something. I'll probably review a game or something. So yeah, be on the lookout. Sounds good. And then we got Max, Dreamcastguy. Where can they find him?
Hello. Yeah, I got a lot of projects in the works. YouTube.com/Dreamcastguy. I am working on a review for Vampire, spelled all weird. And I know a lot of other people don't have review
Wait, they sent
codes.
that to you?
I didn't get it through an official source.
I got it through a torrent site.
And I had to because they're being really weird about it. And as somebody who's playing it, there's definitely a reason they're being weird about it. So show up Tuesday. I might put my video up Monday night or early Tuesday morning. But I got a lot to say about that. It's an indie game that, well, anyway, so yeah, we'll see that. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, man, I'm not liking this. And Monday needs to get here so I can play it.
Yeah, I mean, well, since I'm not under embargo, I will hint that it is. It definitely seems like a game that had the blood sucked out.
Dude, you're not under embargo, dude. You need to drop that thing on tomorrow, Sunday.
I haven't been, and I'm at my girlfriend's house right now, so I'm not making any progress on it. But it does. It's one. It almost feels like a fake open world game. Like it's open world, it's sections, but it gets weirdly linear. It's a weird game.
There's something about that game that gave me murderer soul suspect vibe. If you remember that game,
yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but that game didn't turn out to be good.
Thankfully, no. It's better than that. I would say it just definitely seems like it started out as a really small project, and the last year they tried to blow it up because like combat's pretty bare bones. There's like weird blood drinking system where some people make you stronger in different ways. It's weird. But thank you, everybody. I'm probably about to hit 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah. How far away are you right now?
I think about like I'm thinking about 99,800.
Nice, dude. You're like 200 away. Everyone in the stream should go sub to Max right now, Dreamcastguy, and try to push him over that 100,000.
Yeah, somebody drop my link in chat. I don't know how to use a Mac, so I can't drop anything in chat.
Hold on. Let me see something. I can actually pull that up right now. Dreamcastguy. Everyone should go sub to him so we can get him there, because Max has been working at this for a long time. He's so close. Yeah, you're 99,759, man. 64.
Yes.
Okay. It jumped up from 59 to 64.
This is the awesome chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate
there
it.
you go. Very cool. Very cool. And then we are going to be rating Avedon, right? I got everyone, right? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. We're going to be rating Evan. Oh, and then Evan. You guys know Evan now.
Yeah, but
He's
I mean,
around.
there's my Twitter. There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, go follow him on Twitter because he just talks to Twitter sometimes. So cool. And that's everything here for tonight. We got Avedon. We got Avedon's link. Somebody had his link.
I can get the link right now.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go stop by Avedon's stream. Say hi. Tell him we sent you guys there and everything. And I guess that's gonna do it for us tonight. And we'll see you guys next Saturday night. We're gonna have EA's stuff to talk about, so we'll go over that, and then we'll just be getting ready for E3 next week. It's less than a week away now, so it's gonna be really cool. Yeah, thanks guys, and we'll see you next Saturday night.